Fit your unique body type and sleep preferences. Go to helixsleep.com and get up to $200 off mattress orders.
I'm Harvey Massey. Think about this for a moment. Pest control involves applying pesticides inside your home, whether needed or not. At Massey Services, we just don't do that. We prevent pests from getting inside your home, so we won't have to control them later. Why settle for pest control when you can trust Massey's pest prevention? It's guaranteed or your money back. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
Let's talk about Byron Donalds. Just the facts. Fact: Byron Donalds is a never-Trumper who has repeatedly mocked Donald Trump and his policies. Fact: Byron Donalds doesn't even live in the district he's running for. But it gets worse. Fact: a Trump-hating organization based in Washington is spending millions to buy the seat for him. These are the facts. Byron Donalds is a bought and paid-for never-Trumper. Paid for by Honesty America, not authorized by any candidate or any candidates committee.
Across the nation, America is moving forward, finding our footing, getting back on our feet. Life continues to open up. Businesses are getting back to business, and we are too. We know you rely on the Good Feet store to be there when you need us. We're open and ready to serve you. Our personally fit arch supports are designed to help alleviate, even eliminate, foot, knee, hip, and back pain, and provide comfort, balance, and support. The well-being of our customers, associates, and community is our highest priority. So we've implemented new measures, procedures, and precautions, keeping your health and safety in the forefront. The Good Feet store is lending a hand to help America get back on its feet. And just as we have for a quarter century, we're helping to improve the quality of people's lives, 2 feet at a time.
Is foot pain making your life miserable? Call 552-FEET or visit us in Naples or our newest store in Fort Myers.
Hiring can be difficult, but if you're a company that's currently trying to hire, you face new difficulties. HousingWire could relate. They needed to hire a reporter to cover the U.S. housing markets, so they turned to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's smart matching technology finds people with the right experience for your job. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And that's how HousingWire found Alexandra Roja. Alexandra never imagined she could get a reporter job in the midst of COVID-19 until she created a profile on ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter matched Alexandra to HousingWire's reporter job because she was a great fit for the role. HousingWire received her application only 4 hours after they posted the job. And a few weeks later, Alexandra started her dream career. ZipRecruiter helped HousingWire find the right person for their role fast.
See how ZipRecruiter can help you hire. Try it now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
From 92.5 Fox News.
This is what Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. I'm so glad that you are joining us today. 239-479-5592. That's the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line. Streaming live on the YouTubes. Here we are at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe to the channel if you enjoy watching and getting an alert each and every morning when we are live. It could be on YouTube or Facebook, either place. Remember that you can subscribe on YouTube. That keeps us going, and we do appreciate that this morning. Coming up, a lot going on today. It's 7:30, I believe. We'll have Dr. Stephen Hahn. He's the FDA commissioner, will be on with us. We're going to talk about, among other things, how maybe the FDA feels, and obviously how you feel about vaccines. You know, we're hearing about Moderna, Pfizer. We're hearing about these vaccines that are coming to market quickly. It seems like they're in the 3rd trial phase. What does that mean? And whether or not people are comfortable. You know, this is going to be an interesting conversation because I am pretty sure that the FDA commissioner has had a discussion with individuals, probably people that he knows, not just people within the federal government, but also people that he is friendly with, that are just acquaintances, that probably say the same things that you're saying, which is obvious. How many of you feel comfortable with the idea of taking a vaccine this early in the process, even if we are through phase 3 trials, even though we we are getting closer to it making its way to the marketplace, the question does remain, do you feel comfortable? And I would dare say that, let's be honest, a majority of people are concerned, may not want to take a vaccine, may worry about the efficacy, knowing that when we go out and take flu vaccines, that we don't know one way or the other whether or not that is the right vaccine for this flu season, and how sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It's hit or miss for a lot of people. And so that question remains. So it'll be interesting to see how Dr. Stephen Hahn answers these questions, because these are the things we need to know. As we move forward, isn't it clear that we are hearing more and more that we cannot do anything? We can't move this economy forward. We can't get back out of our homes. We can't go and stretch and enjoy the outdoors and enjoy life. Until what? Until we have a vaccine? Until this virus goes away? How many more times do we have to watch the goalposts being moved before people get frustrated? And let me just and let me tell you about some of the other things we're going to talk about this morning before I get to my personal aside. Rahm Emanuel was on The View yesterday and compared the athletes kneeling to worshipers kneeling before God. No, I'm not kidding. How could Rahm Emanuel say something like that? How does he make that leap? Well, if you understand where Marxist ideology goes when it comes to kneeling, when it comes to destroying the nuclear family, what does that even mean? Like, why do Marxists even believe in that? So we're going to get into that coming up. Also, there's a Palm Beach County judge, and guess what this Palm Beach County judge, everybody, did? This Palm Beach County judge decided to uphold a coronavirus ordinance requiring masks. So hold on a second. We know that Alfie Oakes has a legal team putting together. We know that we heard from Byron Donalds last week, or State Representative Byron Donalds, who made the case and has been making the case that constitutionally here in the state of Florida, there are no grounds to be able to force someone to force a county, a county to force individuals to wear masks the way that Collier County has. So is that it? Is it over? Palm Beach County judge upholds coronavirus ordinance. Okay, we can all pack it up and go home. We're going to have to wear masks. Really? Okay, well, hold on. You got to slow down a little bit, and we'll get into these details this morning as well, because all of these things affect you. And one other thing before I move on to my personal aside, and it's this. People are trying to figure out how the President of the United States, with everything that he has had to deal with since day one, since coming down the golden escalator and deciding that he was going to run for President of the United States, the attacks against this president, clearly the attacks against this president because he was the individual who was going to be opening up the gates to things that we never thought or dreamed possible when it comes to weaponizing the federal government against citizens, the Russia collusion hoax, to what we might see as far as the left trying to impeach the President of the United States, to all of the things that have been happening with never Trumpers and trying to keep the status quo in the federal government. How lately even you can't tell the difference between the Republican Party and the Democrat Party in a lot of ways. And I know you don't want to hear that as we're less than 100 days away from an election, but that's why I keep emphasizing to stay away from the R and the D. As much as people get upset with me saying this, if you have conservative values, you need to stick with your values, and you need to find candidates that have your ideology and your values in mind. And so when people give lip service, for example, to, we got crushing debt and deficits, and we've got to do something about this, what have you done about it? How many times have you taken a stand against those that would frivolously throw out your tax dollars, trillions of dollars, without trying to argue the point that all of these trillions of dollars that continue to go out have a cost. And if you can't decide to balance that out with tax cuts, giving us our money back, figuring out a way to take away that burden that is going to be on the future, then all you're doing is telling us that as a party, you are just like Democrats, that you have decided that we can print all the money we want. Money's cheap. What's the big deal? It's not going to be cheap forever, everybody. And so where's the fiscal responsibility in Washington, D.C.? But getting back to the president, many people have looked at the president and said, well, what is the one thing right now that we can pin our hopes on if the economy is just a mess and Democrats want to keep it that way? You know it and I know it. Is there something we can look at and say, yes, we can all get together on this. We can all agree. And this is where the president has an opportunity once again to be victorious. And it may be something that you're not even thinking about at the moment. And I'll get to that too, because yes, there is. And yes, it's good news. And the best part is it really is a distinction. It really is the difference between Donald Trump and Joe Biden specifically. So that is going to be something that we can look at and look forward to, because clearly
we choose truth over facts.
Well, we always have that as well. All right. 239-479-5592 is the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line. So let me get to this to start off with. We are heading headfirst into more debt, trillions and trillions of dollars of stimulus that Republicans are now ready to dive headfirst into. Mitch McConnell confirming reports that came out on Monday that the GOP bill would drop the $600 a week bonus unemployment stimulus to $200 and includes another $1,200 in direct payments to American adults. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, of course, took to the floor and was stomping his feet. He's all upset because, Republicans bad. You know how that goes.
Protections against evictions expired last week at a time when over 12 million Americans lived in households that missed the rent payment last month. Enhanced unemployment benefits for 20 to 30 million Americans out of work expire this week without a proper solution. No matter what we do, states will not be able to quickly restart any enhanced unemployment benefits because Senate Republicans dithered for what seems like an eternity.
Dithered for what seems like, the Republicans have dithered. I bring Chuck Schumer in and his voice and how it grates on you for a reason. Because Republicans always cave. Can I say that again? Republicans always cave. Republicans cave. They always do. They never fight. They never stand. Mitch McConnell can say all that he wants. It doesn't make a difference. Mitch McConnell trying to get a deal out there, trying to be realistic and.
Look, I think this is a starting place. You can see that we've had a lot of our members involved in the start.
It's a starting place. $1 trillion stimulus is a starting place. How do you feel about that? 239-479-5592. Am I wrong? I mean, you can certainly call. The Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line is open right now. I would love to hear from you. Am I wrong? Do Republicans ever fight? $1 trillion stimulus is a starting point. $1,200 direct payments. Basically, it's the CARES Act that the Democrats put out all over again. There's going to be more money that's going to be there for PPP. There's going to be unemployment insurance bonuses, about $200 a week. There's going to be more money going out to schools, more money for testing and treatment and vaccines. And I'm wondering when all of this gets to finish, when do we get to go back to work? When do we see and when do we have a sense of normalcy out there? And that is the point, everybody. We're throwing money at everything right now because Democrats demand it, because Democrats have demagogued on this, because Democrats have an opportunity once again to make it sound like Republicans don't care about you, don't care about the little guy. They only want to give tax cuts to the rich. No, I'm not kidding. Nancy Pelosi has said it a gajillion times.
The only thing they have accomplished in the Trump administration on their own, the only thing they accomplished was a tax cut for the wealthiest people in America.
You think I'm kidding? That was this weekend. That's all Nancy Pelosi does. That's all Nancy Pelosi says, is how all Republicans care about is just tax cuts for the wealthy. Again, the demagoguing, the continuous demagoguing against Republicans. And the demagoguing, everybody, only works if you acquiesce and you don't fight. Like, how many times in your life have you witnessed someone telling you that an individual was, I don't know, fill in the blank, was a certain way in their personality? And you really didn't know the person very well, but everything that they kept saying was never contradicted by that individual. They just sat back and didn't say anything. And as a matter of fact, in a lot of ways, they actually showed you how they maybe are what that individual has said about them, because they never decided to say anything. They just kept their mouth shut. And soon you're just like, I guess that person is like that, because they don't argue it. They don't argue the point. When they're attacked by somebody, they don't say anything. That's what we have here. And I don't know how you start. A starting point is $1 trillion, because the end point is going to be Republicans once again agreeing with Democrats that we have to throw more money at this, not telling us when we get to go back to work, not telling us when we're going to be able to comfortably go back to schools. I mean, I see all the money that's going to schools. It was Daniel Horowitz who was bringing this up last week? When the president promised, remember, the promise was, we're going to cut off funding to schools that don't reopen. I mean, we're getting serious now. All the evidence would show that schools need to be reopened. Parents, even in Collier County, in Lee County, if you were to take a poll, you would find out that there are more people who want kids to go back to school than not. But yet, the demagoguing and everything else that has been out there, whether it's local media, state media, national media, whether it's unions, whoever it is, all have you believe that it is the least safe place for kids to be is in school, and that we have to stay away from getting back to school. And as a matter of fact, we push another month out to get back to school because we have to see the numbers go down. To what number? What's the percentage? Does anybody know? Have we confidently been told that once the state numbers in infections or deaths or wherever we're going with this, once it gets to this number or this percentage, then everything is safe and we can go back? And the reason why I bring that up is because I'm looking at the headlines here on a couple of the local news outlets that are telling us that the COVID infection rates in the state of Florida have been going down. Okay, good. They're going down. Let's get back to school. Let's get back to work. Do you see how this works? When they're claiming that all the cases are going up, when they're spiking up, when we get these spikes, which of course we're not confident in the numbers, and we've been through this for the past couple of days, how the numbers are being reported. When the numbers are going up, we hear reports about we got to get back inside. We got to mask up. We need mandatory masks. You're hearing less and less about mandatory masks now, aren't you? Because businesses have started to acquiesce. County commissions have started to acquiesce. In other words, the media got what they wanted. They're getting the masking up, the mandatory masking up. But now we're starting to hear about the cases going down. So does that mean everything is good? Now could we come out and breathe the fresh air? Because nobody has given us the number or the percentage that we need to be at in order to be safe once again. President said, look, we're going to cut off funding to schools that don't reopen. According to what's in this Republican bill, and the Republicans and the Democrats, battling it out over what is right and what is not right and what is responsible and what isn't, there are the Republicans doing it again. acquiescing to what the Democrats say because the Democrats have the media on their side, and they'll demagogue this right up to Election Day. And the minute Republicans push back, they're going to make everybody feel on the planet, across the planet, that Republicans don't care and they want everybody literally to die. That there's $70 billion in new funding for schools without any of the funding being dispersed on a per capita basis, no conditions, $30 billion dispersed to those schools that have some in-person instruction, which is to be defined by the governor. So rather than fighting a battle where the science and the data show that it's clear that it's a safe place to be, Republicans have decided to reward teachers' unions for their selfish child abuse and destroying elementary school kids' education and lining their pockets. That's Daniel Horowitz from his Conservative Review article about what Republicans have now done in helping Democrats get their way. How did it go from that when the evidence is clear about going back to school? It's because Republicans believe, and they continue to believe, it's this old school belief that if we just show that we want to get along with everybody and we don't fight and we don't argue, that everybody's going to love us. And that's not what happens. Every single time they get burned. And unfortunately, it looks like Mitch McConnell is doing it again. And I'm upset about this because I'm trying to figure out where we are, fiscal conservatives. Every time I have talked about this and being fiscally conservative and how sooner or later we're going to get burned by this, everybody's like, that those days are over. No. We're just going to throw money at everything like Democrats do. We're just going to, do it more responsibly? No. Trust us. Everything is fine. If you can't beat them, join them. No, I'd like to beat them. I don't want to join them. And again, the money going to the teachers' unions, and not every union is bad, so I get emails. Don't get upset. Don't get crazy. It's not every union, but a teachers' union that is suing the governor of the state of Florida, a teachers' union, and all the unions that continuously fight Republicans, you know it's true, gets to get more money now, as if Republicans are going to do this and they are going to back Republican candidates or back Republican policies. It's never going to happen. Although now they start to look more and more like each other. So again, we have a $1 trillion stimulus starting point when we're not even sure where a lot of the money was spent before. Oh, well, the $600 for individuals to not go back to work is running out, Drew. What do you expect? There are families that are hurting. I know there are families that are hurting. I know of the families that are hurting. I get that. The point is, there's no end point because there doesn't have to be. Because Democrats and the media will continue to say that if you don't do what we ask, then you don't care. And Republicans will fold. I just wish there was a little fight. I'm starting to believe there's not a whole lot. Now, having said that, it doesn't mean that it has to always be like this. It just means that when it comes to local elections, when it comes to state and federal elections, you got to do your homework and look at people individually and see what it is that they are voting for and against and what they are willing to fight for. If you believe that these people are fighters. Not because they say they are fighters, but because they have some kind of proof that they do. All right. 239-479-5592 is the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line. Streaming live on YouTube. We love that you would subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Drew Steele, Radio Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe. It helps to keep this going if you enjoy watching it, whether here or on Facebook. Stay bright 92.5 Fox News, right all along with traffic. We going to traffic, Jake?
Yes.
Okay. Sabrina Katz.
Traffic is slowing in Fort Myers northbound on 6 Mile heading to Daniels Parkway. Also, quite a few cars getting off of that interstate heading eastbound on Daniels to Tree Line. Commuters in Cape Coral, traffic is still slow on Del Prado south to Pine Island. Also, a delay on Chiquita Boulevard south to Cape Coral Parkway. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
92 degrees with our heat index between 100 to 105 for your Monday, as we are going to be developing a round of some hit or miss scattered storms, especially this afternoon and this evening. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
This Fox Business Report is presented by Gulf Shore Business Magazine, online at gulfshorebusiness.com.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Google says it will keep its employees home until at least next July. That makes it the first major U.S. company to lay out a long-term timetable for working during the pandemic. The Ellen DeGeneres Show is reportedly under an internal investigation. Variety reporting the action comes after a number of high-profile complaints about a toxic workplace environment. The Trump administration moves forward with plans to regulate content on social media, formally asking the FCC on Monday to start overseeing how those companies treat user content. The industry is expected to oppose the move as an intrusion on free speech. And stocks end higher as investors bet big tech companies will weather the pandemic. The Dow rose 114 points. The NASDAQ jumped 173. I'm Carmen Roberts. That's your Fox Business Report, invested in you.
We're the Retirement Income Store. We help hardworking Americans plan their retirement. Stop crossing your fingers and toes and hoping for growth in the stock market. You can invest for income without all the risk using interest and dividends. Start with our free Retirement Income Kit. Call 866-996-1173.
The Retirement Income Store, where retirees go for income.
Online at theretirementincomeStore.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Sound Income Strategies, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisory firm.
Don't let the phony cancel culture liberals have all the fun. Join the movement.
I was a Trumpster from day one.
Rename Lee County Trump County. Speak up at 925foxnews.com.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. I have my friend TJ Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters in Naples, on the phone. And the selection, of course, at Floor Meisters is amazing. The Core-Tech that I have now in my home. TJ, I got to tell you, it is unbelievable. My wife over the moon. It's like, it's perfect. Even down to the installation, everything was amazing, TJ.
Well, I'm glad your wife is very happy with it.
So am I.
It's softer, it's quieter, it's beautiful, real look of wood, everything your wife wanted, and you got it all taken care of for her.
And so talk about the selection that you have.
Right now we have 90 colors of Core-Tech in stock, ready to go, pick up, put down as soon as you want it. Everything starting at $299 on up with lifetime warranty.
You have to love Core-Tech. You've got to love TJ and Dave Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters. If you haven't been there, go there today. 6281 Naples Boulevard next to Costco. Now, whether it's carpet, tile, laminate, or hardwood flooring, they have it all. So give them a call, 239-596-4964, or on the web at floormeisters.com.
Pool need a checkup? Call the doctor, the Pool Doctor.
Hi, Dr. Mark here. Clients love their salt system for silky smooth water, less maintenance, and they never buy chlorine. If you want the ultimate, we can add a BioShield for UV water disinfection. We're a family company, and for over 40 years, we've been doing business right.
The prescription is the Pool Doctor for award-winning pool service, repairs, and unheard of $39 diagnostic calls. That's mypooldoctor.com or 239-574-1133. State certified CPC 057088.
Majority Leader of the Florida House, Dane Eagle.
I'm Dane Eagle. I'm running for Congress because experience matters. We need proven conservatives fighting for us in Washington. As the Republican Majority Leader of the Florida House, I have proven myself as a trusted conservative. I cut over $10 billion in taxes while balancing Florida's budget. And I've tackled immigration. I fought beside Governor DeSantis to ban sanctuary cities and pass E-Verify. I'm Dane Eagle, and I approve this message because we cannot afford to take another chance on inexperienced, unproven candidates based on campaign ads. That has failed us in the past, and it will fail us again. When I say I'll do something, it's not an empty promise. It's something I've already proven I can and will do. I'm Dane Eagle, and I have the experience to bring back our economy, fight illegal immigration, and keep America great. Send me to Congress. I will stand with President Trump, and I will fight for America. That's a promise, not an ad.
Thank you, Dane.
Paid for it by Dane Eagle for Congress.
Your local 1-hour air conditioning and heating team is open and ready to serve you. AC isn't a luxury, but rather is essential to your life. Give our team a call at 844-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Attention commercial building owners, the Flying Locksmiths of Southwest Florida are now open, specializing in automatic doors, access controls, and CCTV cameras. Visit them online at flyinglocksmiths.com. If it's on the door, we handle it.
Let's talk about local elections. What about this Matt Caldwell guy?
Caldwell, who wrote in his own words that he would never vote for President Trump.
I hear Caldwell wants to be elected to both Republican State Committee and Lee County Property Appraiser.
He's running for 2 offices?
Yes, Caldwell is running for 2 offices.
Is that legal?
Yes, but it doesn't mean you have to vote for him.
Everglades Trust called him Corrupt Caldwell for the millions he took from Big Sugar.
Caldwell refuses to vote for Trump, takes big bucks from Big Sugar, and now he runs for 2 elected offices. Is Caldwell serious?
Caldwell is serious about opposing President Trump and serious about taking big bucks from Big Sugar?
I won't be voting for Caldwell for either of the offices he's seeking this year.
Glad we have candidates who back President Trump running against him in the primary. Vote no when it comes to Matt Caldwell.
Paid for and approved by me, Chris Crowley, for Republican State Committeeman, the conservative choice for Lee County.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Kirsten Delgado with Wink News. Today, Lee County schools are presenting a new district-wide mental health plan to the school board to help kids adjust to going back to school during a pandemic. Collier County schools are expected to discuss this year's school calendar at their board meeting tonight. Right now, students will go back to class August 19th, pushed back from the 12th. Teachers will hold another parade today to demand the district push back in classroom learning, saying they're worried about their safety. Today, Charlotte County commissioners will discuss a mask resolution at county businesses asking customers to wear masks when not social distancing. Cape Coral is canceling its 50th anniversary celebration and fireworks display on Labor Day, citing safety concerns. Trust Wink News, Southwest Florida's news leader.
Wink News Traffic.
Traffic is slowing in Fort Myers northbound on 6 Mile heading to Daniels Parkway. Also, quite a few cars getting off of that interstate heading eastbound on Daniels to Tree Line. Commuters in Cape Coral, traffic is still slow on Del Prado south to Pine Island. Also, a delay on Chiquita Boulevard south to Cape Coral Parkway. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
93 degrees with our heat index over 100 for your Tuesday. Combination of clouds and sunshine. Eventually, by this afternoon and this evening, we do develop a round of some hit or miss scattered storms. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Join the movement. Rename Lee County Trump County. 925foxnews.com. And sign your name today.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and I have something important that I want to share with you about my good friends Kevin and Todd at AMCO of Bonita Springs. Look, they understand the last thing you need to worry about in 2020 is what to do and where to go when you're having car troubles, right? Their shops know a thing or two about hard times, especially since they opened in 2008. Remember, that was during a recession, and they've worked hard from day one and every day since to make sure they simply do the right thing when it comes to your auto or truck repair needs. Not only are Kevin, Todd, and the team great conservatives, but they're also very good at what they do when it comes to the maintenance and repairs that you need, whatever that may be. Because look, you rely on that vehicle each day to get you where you need to be. Not only do they do all things related to transmission work, but they even do brakes, air conditioning, check engine light diagnostic, tires, alignments. Look, you name it, they can handle it. Southwest Florida's come to know AMCO of Bonita Springs as the place you can trust with your car or truck. So give them a call, will you? 992-2626. That's 239-992-2626. And if it's your first time into the shop, make sure you let them know you heard it right here on 92.5 Fox News.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling tip of the day. My dad taught me many things growing up, like don't cry over spilt milk, don't talk to strangers, and never make appointments with AC companies who telemarket you on the phone. They're bait and switch companies offering cheap services to get to your wallet. If you're telemarketed at your house, hang up. You can't perform a real service for...
Hey, just wanted to say hi, say good morning. Hope you guys are doing well, and let me move this out of the way. Yep, hope you're doing well. Thank you for watching. Please let people know that if you are watching, to subscribe. We appreciate it on the YouTube channel. If you're watching on Facebook, even if you went to YouTube, subscribe to the channel and just go back to Facebook. That's fine. But just so we could keep this going, we appreciate it. And anytime you want to comment on what we're talking about on screen, or anytime you want to maybe make a suggestion of what you would like to talk about this morning. Hey, look at this. I just saw this from Reason.com. Did you know that Miami police are setting up mask traps, like speed traps? $100 fines for people wearing masks improperly. I did not know that. I wonder how you feel about that. Yeah, we could talk about that coming up. All right. Thanks. We'll be back in just a second.
Believes in individual liberties and personal responsibility. That's why he fought against government mandates forcing you to wear a face mask. Kevin Ruane knows our water quality is directly linked to our economy. He's worked with Washington and Tallahassee to get the funding needed to reduce Lake Okeechobee discharges. He's proven himself as the clear choice to get results to restore our local waterways. Let's put Kevin Ruane to work for us to create jobs and fix our water quality. Paid by Kevin Ruane, Republican for Lee County Commissioner, District 1.
Summer clearance event going on now at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Lowest prices ever on over 1,500 new and certified pre-owned vehicles. All new Jeep Gladiator lease, $259 per month. Loaded luxurious Grand Cherokee Limited lease, $279 per month. New Ram Bighorn Crew Cab lease, just $299 per month. That's right, award-winning Ram trucks, $299 per month. Plus at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, you can drive payment-free for 3 months, interest-free for 6 years, and worry-free up to 100,000 miles. Plus, our parts, service, and body shop are open to serve you. Summer clearance event featuring Ram Bighorn Crew Cabs for $299 per month at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com. 42-month leases, 10,000 miles per year, $32.94 due at signing plus tax, tag title 0, security deposit $13.88 per month per thousand borrowed for 72 months at 0% APR with 0 down with lender approval. Offers don't combine.
You know the problem in Washington? Too many politicians are full of should. They should keep promises, should serve the people, should avoid corruption. But when it's time to deliver, it's just a load of should. Then along comes Donald J. Trump, and the DC insiders, they lose their should. Byron Donalds is a lot like Trump that way. Donalds is willing to shake things up. You can take Trump's word for it.
I want to thank Representative Donalds. He's got a tremendous future ahead of him.
Now Byron Donalds is running for Congress. Donalds fought for low taxes in Tallahassee. He'll keep fighting to protect your paycheck in Congress. Donalds backs term limits. And Donalds stands with Trump to defend our police. Conservative Republican Byron Donalds for Congress. He'll make a difference in Washington. No should. Paid for by Club for Growth Action. Clubforgrowthaction.org and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Club for Growth Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The team at Best Home Services understands that this is a time of much uncertainty and much unknown. With this uncertainty comes feelings of fear and panic. Please know that we are here for you today, tomorrow, and into the future as we move forward together, safely and comfortably. We are all in this together, and as stewards of our community, we promise to continue to provide you the services needed to keep you and your family safe. You are not alone. Best Home Services, our family protecting your family.
Hi, I'm Jim Levins, and I'm running for Lee County Sheriff. For more than 30 years, I've served on the front lines of law enforcement, all right here in Lee County. Now, as radicalized Democrats attempt to open our borders, destroy our churches, and defund the police, it is more important than ever to have a pro-cop, pro-Trump, pro-law and order sheriff who won't give in to the liberal mob and who will fight for you each and every day. That's exactly who I am, and that's exactly what I'll do. I'm Jim Levins, running for Lee County Sheriff, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Jim Levins, Republican for Lee County Sheriff.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. My name is Drew Steele. I'm so glad that you are joining us today on this Tuesday morning. 239-479-5592 is the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line. We are streaming live on YouTube. Anytime you want to watch, please subscribe to the channel, Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. And when you subscribe, you get an alert. You'll know when we are live. And it also helps to keep it going for Facebook as well, so you all get to watch. And we do appreciate that. We also appreciate this, that many of you understand how the cancel culture is coming after you, even in Southwest Florida, and how you've had enough with the radicalization that is out there of certain individuals and certain ideology that would shut your voice down, that would say to the Constitution, yeah, forget about your Constitution. We are going to make change like you have never witnessed before. And as a matter of fact, we don't like a lot of the history of this country. And the only way to make history go away is to tear down statues, eliminate names, to try to make all of this, to kind of cleanse our past. You see the problem with that, right? And I know you do, because I see a lot of you signing our change.org petition, because if the cancel culture is coming to Southwest Florida, then guess what? We're going to take a stand. I'm taking a stand, and with your help, we're doing this together, and that's what I appreciate about Southwest Florida. And so when those individuals say, well, you know what, Lee County, I got a problem with Lee County. Robert E. Lee County, don't you have a problem with it? And now instead of making Robert E. Lee someone that we can look at as a teachable moment, where we can show individuals who Robert E. Lee was, the good and the bad of everything as a whole, the same way that Margaret Sanger, the eugenicist, the start of Planned Parenthood, the one who created Planned Parenthood, and you know what Planned Parenthood is all about, that even at the Smithsonian National Portrait Gallery, how they will not remove a bust of her there in the portrait gallery, even though Planned Parenthood has taken her completely away from Planned Parenthood, has removed her name and image from anything that has to do with Planned Parenthood, because they know her past and it's been revealed and they can't deny it. That just the same way that you look at the Smithsonian and they say, well, you know what, we're not going to remove the bust of Margaret Sanger, because we want to put on display anything and everything that has to do with the history of this country and the culture, the good and the bad, because they're all teachable moments that if you come to the Smithsonian and the portraiture that you see of Margaret Sanger, guess what? You get to hear all about her and the effect that she's had in the culture. And we get to have a dialogue. Unless we tell you that that's not the case. Like for example, Robert E. Lee County. We can't do that here, right? We can't have the discussion about the good and the bad. No. We have to cancel. Well, I say we cancel you, because if you're going to come to Southwest Florida and you're going to cancel out the name of Lee County because, well, you say so, no, we have a say in this as well. And that's why I am telling everybody, sure, let's change the name of Lee County to Trump County. That's right. We're going to have a say in this. And over 2,600 of you have already signed our change.org petition. If you would like to sign it, we would love to have you on board. Just text the word Trump right now to 239-479-5592. And when you do that, it'll give you a link to the change.org petition. Sign that because, listen, we want people to know how we feel, and we're going to stand up to the cancel culture. And when you sign this petition, that's what you're doing. You're showing people that you're going to stand up to those that will cancel without you having any say, without regard. No, that's not how we do it here. Plus, Trump County has a nice ring to it. So go ahead and text the word Trump to 239-479-5592, the change.org petition, and get your voice out there and your voice heard. All right, a couple of other things that I wanted to discuss this morning. Boy, there's so much that is going on. Remember that we are in an election season. And anytime we are in an election season, what do we know? We know that the media, local, state, national media, along with Democrats, are going to continue to demagogue against Republicans, against this president. Anybody connected with the president has to be made to look bad, like you don't care, like you don't know what you're talking about, that we have to put this out on display, and that we want hearts and minds to change against you. And we see it even here locally, as I'm looking at some stories that are done locally here about Ron DeSantis. Why would you talk to the community about a Washington Post article that was critical of the governor of the state of Florida? Why would you do that? Why would you go to downtown Fort Myers and talk to people about, well, the Washington Post is critical of the governor? What do you think? He's bad, right? I mean, why are you doing this? Everybody knows, even you know, that the Washington Post has no intention on telling the truth about anything with regard to this president, with regard to the Trump-Russia collusion hoax, which quite honestly is amazing. Jonathan Turley, who is a Democrat, who is someone who is a constitutional law attorney, who has made mention of this on numerous occasions, and even just recently, and has approached the media and said, why are you all so uninterested in what amounts to the modern day Watergate. Over 40 years ago, you took a decided interest in a government using its investigative and intelligence authority to intervene in an election. The Watergate scandal unlocked a whole series of abuses of power which might not have been viewed as anything other than business as usual. This is from Hot Air and was written by Ed Morrissey at Hot Air. But this is about Jonathan Turley. Bernstein and Woodward lionized in print on the silver screen movies about these individuals because they got to the bottom of the corruption that was happening in government. And Jonathan Turley is saying, can I ask a question? I'm a Democrat and constitutional law attorney. And over the weekend, he is saying, we have examples of Democrats. A Democrat in particular, one Barack Obama, who... All right. Who clearly, and with all the evidence that we've had in the past 48, 72 hours, months, dare I say years, all the evidence coming out to prove that the federal government was weaponized against Donald Trump, was weaponized against the political party. All the lies now that are getting that individuals like Comey, Strzok, and Page and Clapper and Brennan all getting caught up in now, and we're starting to see everything unfold and the truth behind it. Jonathan Turley asks the question, why are you not interested in this? It's astonishing that the media refuses to see what is one of the biggest stories in decades. The Obama administration targeted the campaign of the opposing party based on false evidence. The media uncovered Obama administration officials ridiculing the suggestions of spying on the Trump campaign and of improper conduct with the Russia investigation. When Attorney General William Barr told the Senate last year that he believes spying did occur, he was lambasted in the media, including James Comey and others involved in the investigation. The mocking wow response of the fired FBI director received extensive coverage. Attorney General Barr is going to go to Capitol Hill and talk about that today. And the evidence that's there now that proves that this happened. Why do we have individuals now going to the same Washington Post that had no problem talking about this and perpetrating this lie? Why do we have individuals going to downtown Fort Myers and saying, hey, we got an article from the Washington Post, clearly not fans of the president or the governor by default, critical. He's awful, right? Why are you doing that? Who are you trying to convince that the governor is a bad guy and doing bad work? And what's your evidence? There's a lot of that going on. And again, when it comes to the job that's being done by the governor, I'm amazed that the Washington Post would go after Governor DeSantis with the testing that's happening in the state, with some of the numbers that are making their way to the state that we all know about and that we've witnessed, motorcycle accidents that all of a sudden become COVID death cases, the numbers that were going into the state Department of Health, of labs who were reporting cases that there are big questions about when people go to these COVID lines and they want to get tested and they give their name and they set up an appointment and they get in line and they start to go in and all of a sudden something comes up and they decide to get out of line and they leave only to find out 3 days later they get a report that they've tested positive even though they were never tested. How does that happen? All of these questions. Why are you not focusing on that? I think the answer is obvious. Jonathan Turley brings up that same question. Why are places like the Washington Post, even local and state media outlets, why are you not focused on some of the abuses of the federal government against American citizens? And you know the answer. And here's the unfortunate truth. That the answer is because when it comes to politics, when it comes to demagoguing, when it comes to hiding the facts, media outlets will sit back and say nothing about these facts because They want the same result that the Washington Post and the New York Times wants. And that is to see Democrats in charge infinitum, to see this president out of office. And as long as the goal at the end of the day is the same, then they're willing to turn away and look the other way at the malfeasance of administrations from the past and some of the lies that are out there about current administrations like the governor here and the president of the United States, because the goal is the same. We want you gone. We don't like you. We don't want you in office. We want Democrats in office. We don't believe in your ideology. And we're willing to protect those that will go after you with lies and not call out the truth when it's in front of their face and hide it from the American people because our goal is the same. That's despicable. To me, it is. What about you? 239-479-5592. Streaming live on YouTube. We would love to have you subscribe to the channel, Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Thank you so much if you're watching and you have subscribed. We appreciate that. It helps to keep it going so you can watch on YouTube and Facebook both. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News right all along. Traffic right now. Here's Sabrina Katz.
Traffic is slowing in Fort Myers northbound on 6 Mile heading to Daniels Parkway. Also, quite a few cars getting off of that interstate heading eastbound on Daniels to Tree Line. Commuters in Cape Coral, traffic is still slow on Del Prado south to Pine Island. Also, a delay on Chiquita Boulevard south to Cape Coral Parkway. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
92 degrees with our heat and...
All right, everybody. I'm looking at the screen. I see some people commenting on YouTube and Facebook, and we appreciate you being here. So I thought that maybe I would pop in some of the comments that you've made within the past hour of the show. And forgive me because the camera's here, but the comments are here. So I've got to look away in order to read. So if I'm not looking at you, I apologize. First of all, Warren, thank you for being there on Facebook. The irony, there's no evidence that masks work any more than the lockdown did. Well, there's some unfortunate truths with masks and how they work and how they don't work. And there are specific doctors that have brought this up. And it's part of the tough aspect of COVID and the reality that's there, which is that you have a disparate amount of opinion on both. You have people that are demanding mask mandates, even though mask mandates have been shown not to work in certain areas. You have people that are telling us that masks work 100% of the time. Don't you get it? Masks work. If you wear masks, this is going to what? Go away? No, it's not going to go away. It's just going to help to protect. But then you have some doctors that say, well, if we're going to be honest about this, in some ways it protects, but maybe not in the way that you think. So what's the end game? What are we trying to accomplish here with masks and COVID and stimulus at the end of the day? What are we trying to accomplish? Rick says that the people in D.C. are off their flipping rockers. Yeah, when Mitch McConnell says we're going to start at $1 trillion, $1 trillion, everybody, $1 trillion with a T, like it doesn't matter anymore. Like, we have Republicans that have given into the idea that spending $1 trillion has to happen. Based on what? Like, don't you want to know specifically where every dollar is going? No, you don't have enough time to figure all that out because the money's out. I'm sorry, you can't ask us now. Yeah, we'll just tell you that it has to happen, and that's all you get. What else? Crypto, good morning. Good to see you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Crypto. Let's see. Ronnie Ron earlier said we're way above the 10%. I guess he's talking about the 10% in cases. Again, I'm wondering from, the school board and schools in Collier and Lee County, what's the magic number where everybody feels like, okay, this is a comfortable amount. I want you to think about this. This is a comfortable enough of a level of COVID for me to send my kid back to school or for teachers to go back to school. Do you see that there's something not right here? What's the comfortable enough amount of COVID in Southwest Florida for you to feel comfortable? Is there a number? I don't hear it. But then we have to admit that it's not going away. All right. Let's see. Gary said, with all this money that's going out, how are we going to pay for all the damage that's being done by the rioters? How are the innocent people caught in the middle going to be righted? I love how you brought up fiscal responsibility. Well, I care about fiscal responsibility. I've always cared about fiscal responsibility. And it's funny because I talk to Dan Bongino about this all the time. We feel like we're on an island. We continuously talk about it. He continuously talks about it on his podcast. He brings it up all the time about fiscal responsibility. And it's like nobody cares anymore. Like Republicans have decided that you can't beat them and you have to join them, which really sucks, if I may say so, because you don't have to do that. All right. Rick said if everybody stopped paying property taxes, believe me, things would change. Yep. Gator Lynn, happy Tuesday. Thank you, Gator Lynn. We appreciate you being here. And Gary, good morning, Gary. Good to see you as well. Roger, good morning. Great to see you. Bobby. Bobby wants to know why I'm back at home. Yeah, I brought this up last week, a couple of different reasons. Number one, I just enjoy being home. I like doing this. I like being here. I like that my wife and my son are out getting ready for their school day, and I get the chance to see them and spend time with them. And as long as I can be here and do the show, and at the same time have one less person in the building back at the studio for the employers to worry about, it's kind of like double duty there. Good things for both of us. And I'm happy to be here, and I enjoy doing this. So there's a big part of that. Plus, the reason why I started last week, if you were listening, was because I have allergies, like that, right? And my allergies make me cough because I get a drip. I know, here's my medical issues. So with this drip, I cough every once in a while. And I thought, well, that's the last thing I need, is to be in the building and having people see me coughing and then wondering if I've got the Rona and being upset about that. And like, why are you here in the building if you're coughing? I'd much rather get through this allergy season at home and not have to cough. I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's see. MT wanted me to address people with lung disease having to wear masks in Publix. Okay. Well, I might say this. I don't know if you're going to like this answer, but I'll say it anyway. Unfortunately, it's going to be hard for you to explain to them your condition and why you're not wearing a mask, especially when they're mandating it. And if you do have a lung issue, that either you're going to have to find another place to shop that doesn't have a mask mandate, which is almost impossible to find, and maybe for the time being, you're going to have food delivered, or maybe there's a way, I don't know, to reach out to Publix, to your local Publix, to explain the management. And then in that case, you can't even if you could convince management that you can't see this is the condition we're in, it's a tough position to be in. Because even if you were to explain to Publix, explain to your local grocer that you can't wear a mask because of your lung condition, that even if they agreed, the minute you go into the store and people see you're not wearing a mask, then you're going to have the mask police all over you. I know, it's a tough situation to be in. Peter wants to know if teachers are still getting paid for not working. Yes, they are, Peter. Yes, they are. But that's okay. Or is it? Maybe that's a question we should bring up this morning. All right, well, I've got to go back and get ready. I appreciate you watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, somewhere down at the bottom. I don't know if it's here or here, somewhere down at the bottom. There's a subscribe button if you would do that on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, even if you go to YouTube and subscribe to the channel and just go back to Facebook, it keeps us going. So we appreciate it. Be right back.
Dash up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
93 degrees with our heat index over 100 for your Tuesday. Combination of clouds and sunshine. Eventually, by this afternoon and this evening, we do develop a round of some hit or miss scattered storms. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Get a 2020 GMC Yukon Denali with only 8,000 miles, like new, but for thousands less. Or a 2008 Kia Sorento SUV with only 43,000 miles for just $6,500. With over 300 vehicles, visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
This is State Representative Spencer Roach. 2 years ago, I asked you to trust me with your vote to be your voice in the state capitol. I told you that I would not let you down, and I haven't. I voted to ban sanctuary cities and to give the governor the power to remove any elected official who provides sanctuary to illegal aliens. I voted to strip away anti-free market regulations that grant monopolies to the healthcare industrial complex. I supported teacher pay raises, and I'm proud to say that I was the leading co-sponsor on the bill to prevent minors from getting abortions without their parents' knowledge. As rioters march across the country and socialists attempt to overthrow our government, we need leaders tough enough to protect our freedoms, secure our communities, and rebuild our economy. I'm Spencer Roach, and you can trust me to stand up and fight for our liberty, protect our history, and maintain law and order. And that's why I'm asking for your vote. Paid for by Spencer Roach, Republican for Florida House, District 79.
I'm Harvey Massey. At Massey Services, we know every lawn is unique and requires customized care. That's why our environmental approach includes aeration, which allows water and nutrients to reach the roots of your lawn, as well as an irrigation program, which ensures proper coverage and reduces water waste. With Massey's Green Up program, you'll enjoy a healthy and a beautiful lawn year-round. That's Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
Hiring can be difficult, but if you're a company that's currently trying to hire, you face new difficulties. Housing Wire could relate. They needed to hire a reporter to cover the U.S. housing markets, so they turned to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's smart matching technology finds people with the right experience for your job. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And that's how Housing Wire found Alexandra Roja. Alexandra never imagined she could get a reporter job in the midst of COVID-19 until she created a profile on ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter matched Alexandra to Housing Wire's reporter job because she was a great fit for the role. Housing Wire received her application only 4 hours after they posted the job. And a few weeks later, Alexandra started her dream career. ZipRecruiter helped Housing Wire find the right person for their role fast.
See how ZipRecruiter can help you hire. Try it now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. So glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the Tri-Town Construction Talk and text line. Streaming live on YouTube. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. If you haven't yet, please do. It helps to keep us going. You go to Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's on YouTube, and subscribe. And that way you can watch on YouTube. You can watch on Facebook. We appreciate you watching in both locations. Thank you so much for that. Coming up at 7:35, Dr. Stephen Hahn is the FDA commissioner, and we're going to have quite the interesting discussion this morning because, you know, the talk right now is COVID vaccines and what it means to maybe participate in a trial, to volunteer. You know, they have these, we're in these stage 3 now of testing these vaccines. I wonder, how does that even work? Who are these volunteers? That ought to be interesting, and to see what the FDA's role is. And the vice president, his visit to South Florida. And one other thing that I think will be an interesting part of the conversation at 7:35 coming up is this. How many people are hesitant to even take a vaccine once it's rolled out? we're told, and we were told by Dr. Fauci for how long that it could take a year, it could take 2 years. We got to go through all these clinical trials. Things don't happen overnight. It just doesn't work that way. And yet, just like that, all of a sudden now, it is happening just like that. Is it happening just like that because we know that there are certain individuals who are out there who are pegging the getting back to work, the bringing the economy back up to speed again crowd will only be satisfied if there's a vaccine, and so we need to rush something out there to market? Or is it because we really can do this when we put our mind to it if the situation warrants, which speaks volumes to some of the other things that are out there that we haven't been able to do for decades? Well, why can't we get to that same place? So many questions, just in that statement alone that I just made, questions are coming into my mind. Dr. Anthony Fauci told us, right? This is the same Dr. Anthony Fauci who for 40 plus years has been working on HIV/AIDS, was there at the beginning, and we still don't have any kind of vaccine for that decades and decades later. And some might say, well, it's quite different because HIV/AIDS is something completely different than a novel coronavirus. Why? Is it because a coronavirus is something that was mentioned even yesterday on Capitol Hill, that 78% of this coronavirus is similar to other coronaviruses? It's novel, it's new because of the introduction of this particular strain, but when 3/4 of it is similar to what is already out there, does that mean that it's not as dangerous as some might want you to believe, just in and of itself? And the reason why the difference between HIV/AIDS and having any kind of vaccine is how different that is and how dangerous that is compared to this. You could come up with something quickly which would suggest that we know more about. I mean, there's so many questions. You see where I'm going with this. Well, Dr. Stephen Hahn's going to join us at the bottom of the hour. Maybe we just ask him these questions and we see. All right, 239-479-5592. A big thank you to everybody who continues to text the word Trump to 239-479-5592, because that will give you the link to our change.org page. Well over 2,500 signatures already, and we keep going. Listen, if the cancel culture is coming for Southwest Florida, and the plan is to change Lee County because Robert E. Lee, we can't talk about the good and bad of Robert E. Lee and the history of this country and some of the, there have been stains on this country and our history that we need to recognize. But as we progress as a nation, we move forward in making things right. We're not going backwards and getting negative results. We're going forward to get positive results. Why can't we recognize that? But no. A cancel culture has made the decision that we have to just eliminate it, wash it all clean, as if somehow, some way, if all of these statues and names, military bases and the like go away, that somehow you feel good because we've done something good. Well, I say no. I say every individual, everything that is up that exists right now is a teachable moment, and we can make it that way. And as a matter of fact, here's one now. We don't want to change the name of Lee County, but if you're going to change the name of Lee County and demand that it's going to happen, well, I say we change Lee County to Trump County. And thank you to everybody who has been on board with this. And just text the word Trump to 239-479-5592, and we can continue this change.org petition and see more and more signatures pop up to show your support for the idea, which is great. All right, we're going to get to your calls. I see Bill and Benita and Dave in Naples. If you want to chime in on some of the things that we were talking about this morning, for example, as we get to some of the misinformation that is out there about masks. Are masks good? Are masks bad? Is it good to have a mask mandate? Are there people that are making the suggestion now it's because of it's mask mandates? These are the reasons why we're seeing some of the change in the uptick of cases. Now we're starting to see a decline. Maybe not here in the state, but in other places. Are there people that are trying to make they're trying to make the case that because people have been masking up without any proof of that, that's the reason why they're cherry picking certain areas of the country to say, see, we're starting to see a decline in cases. And it's because people are masking up. Of course, we'll ignore places like California that we've been told for weeks and weeks, the numbers are going up, 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 up. And for a month plus, they've had a mask mandate, a statewide mask mandate, but it hasn't helped. It's up 162%, but we don't want to talk about that. We've got to make sure we focus on masking up. Look, as long as we don't have a situation, and this is the important thing, as long as we don't have a situation where we have anything that's along the lines of like a mask trap, like a speed trap. Could you imagine if there were like speed traps where people would be walking by and there would be, I don't know, a police officer that might stop you or do something like a speed trap? That would be the most ridiculous thing if we... Oh, wait a minute. They're doing that in Miami. No, I'm not kidding.
Look at this. They're giving tickets for not wearing masks.
It was like a trap. It was a mask trap. As I'm talking, it slides down a little bit, so my nose was naked.
You have to wear it properly. If you're not wearing it properly, it's not like you're wearing it at all.
$110. Use a little more common sense than ticketing people with masks on their actual face. Why don't you go after people who have no mask?
Yeah. Those are some individuals in Miami that were fined $100 a piece. Mask traps to catch people not wearing them. One person was describing how their mask slipped down past their nose while they were talking, and they got a ticket. They got fined. Here it is on Reason.com. Miami police setting up mask traps, issuing $100 fines to people wearing masks improperly. Hey, listen, there's one way to bring money into the coffer. Oh, did I say that? No. It's been less than 2 weeks since Miami-Dade County announced it would be fining people for not wearing masks in public. Already, Florida media outlets are filled with stories of people cited for wearing masks improperly, lowering masks to sip a drink, or removing their face coverings once outside of a store. Thursday of last week, the Miami Herald reported that the Miami-Dade Police Department has issued 162 citations for violating the county's mandatory mask ordinance, which comes with a $100 penalty. For those that are counting, that's $16,200 there to the Miami-Dade Police Department. What they do with that money is very interesting. I'm sure it's going to education, that people would understand that they need to wear masks in public. I mean, it goes on and on. They talk about examples of people fined while wearing them. A customer at a barbershop lowered his mask to take a sip of water right after a police officer entered the building. How do you feel about this? You feel good about our society doing this right now with masks and mask mandates? And do you feel violated in any way? Because the science isn't settled. I know that there are people that are screaming and yelling at their radio right now, people that I know that are listening, that even though I say this, they are mad as heck, and they're not going to take it anymore, and they're mad that I'm even suggesting that people do not wear masks. I didn't say that. Didn't say that at all. You want to mask up? That's great. Big John parking lot in Cape Coral. Even a statue is masking up in Cape Coral. Even they were smart enough to make sure that Big John's going to last another 50 years in Cape Coral by making sure Big John masks up, which is a good thing because we love Big John, the Big John parking lot. And it's one of those places that in my personal history, when I moved here in 1986, I remember Big John there in the Big John parking lot and how cool I thought that was. The supermarket there, the Big John supermarket. I loved going there with my grandfather. I remember the first time that I was going to Big John's, and I remember it was the first time that I witnessed a summer rainstorm that still fascinates my son, where I was on one side of the street and it was not raining, And not too far across on the other side of the street, people were running because they were trying to get out of the rain. And I thought, this is the coolest thing ever. It's either that or it's really freaky. Never seen anything like that in New York. I'm standing on one side of the street and it's not raining and there's people running from the rain. That's right. Hey, it's raining. Anyway, I digress. So we've got the mask police. And the judge in Palm Beach, according to AP, upholds the coronavirus ordinance requiring masks, citing a century-old U.S. Supreme Court ruling that said a state can mandate vaccinations. They said that county commissioners came to a reasonable and logical conclusion that mandating the wearing of facial coverings best serves their constituents, and a circuit judge rejected the challenge against masks and mandatory masks, saying that the recently enacted ordinance violates their rights to privacy and personal autonomy, and that the court is not prepared to find that unelected persons residing or remaining in any city or town where COVID-19 is prevalent and enjoying the general protection afforded by an organized local effort may nonetheless defy the will of its constituted authority. So basically siding, and I wonder how far this goes, with the mask mandate. And that we have a Palm Beach County judge that says, no, you can do that. It is an interesting proposition, this story, and the mask police in Collier County and the places near you. If a circuit judge is saying that a county can tell you that you need to mask up because it's all about your safety, what else can they tell you to do under the guise of it's your safety? Can they tell you to mask up every time there's a flu epidemic? Can they tell you to do other things? Oh, I don't know. Enter a store, not enter a store, go shopping, don't go shopping. I mean, I can get crazy with this if I really wanted to under the guise of, there's an epidemic. What does an epidemic entail? What's that number that dictates that this is an epidemic? Can that number change? Could it be just in the community, in the city? I mean, I'm hearing right now, and I'm seeing stories, very fine print, in certain publications and in certain media outlets locally that are hinting at the fact that we're seeing a decline in COVID cases in the state for the past couple of days. Shouldn't we be shouting that from the rooftops the way that every time there's 1 or 2 days of a spike that they're being shouted that the increase is intolerable and we all need to get back into our holes? Shouldn't we be screaming from the rooftops that the numbers are declining? And that's a positive. Maybe things are starting to turn around. No. Can't do that. All right, let's go to some calls here. Bill's in Benito wanted to weigh in on misinformation. Hey, Bill, how are you today?
How you doing, buddy? Hey, I'm just in the southernmost part of Trump County currently.
Wait, hold on a second. Thank you, Bill. The southernmost part of Trump County. I like that. See, Bill's already on with the Change.org petition and already about if the cancel culture is coming, changing Lee County to Trump County. I like your style, Bill. That's good.
Wow. What part of New York, by the way?
I lived in Long Island.
Okay, we can forgive you. All good. Hey, I'm from New York myself. The misinformation network down here, it's kind of, it almost happens on your station because you're a Fox, and then you go to the news break and it's a neo-Nazi.
Well, wait. Before we go, wait, hold on a second. If this is what I wanted to do, Bill. I think the important thing here is that we understand that here that we are. You're talking about the Fox affiliate that we are when it comes to we've got Top of the News that does Fox that we talk about. And listen, I'm just myself. I'm just an opinion host, and I am just somebody that's trying to get out information. I know that there are people that get, they're concerned about how things across the state, how things across the county and nationwide are being reported. And listen, we all have the opportunity to speak to what is being reported, to speak on what is going on when it comes to the ability to Oh, gosh, I'm looking at the time. Hold on. Bill, stay there. Put Bill on hold for a second. We'll get Bill's call back in a second. But to make sure that we all understand that we want to see that whether it's local, state, or national, that what is being reported is all factual. It's not based on politics, that we get to hear both sides. If we're talking about one side, we certainly hear, and I certainly as an individual like to make sure that you know what the left, what the media, what others are saying about specifically an issue. Like if I see AP reporting on this judge that's upholding a coronavirus ordinance requiring masks, I would like to know on the other side of that, when does that go away? What's the magic number? I would like to know when it comes to schools. What's the magic number that everybody feels comfortable knowing that COVID is not going to go away, that the chances right now are probably nearing 100% that we are going to always have a coronavirus, that we're not going to get rid of it, this COVID-19. I don't think it will be leaving. I think it will be something that will be just like a flu season. It'll be around and we'll have peaks and valleys of different cases, maybe not to the degree that we're at right now. We'll build immunities, but certainly it's going to be around. And if that is the case, then what are the numbers now in the future that where we may see spikes in cases that we're going to have to mask up again, that we're going to have to get back in our holes again, that we're not going to be able to shop again? Like, how does that work? And my concern, and just like many others, is that the goalposts continue to move. And as the goalposts continue to move on COVID, then there are individuals, minority of individuals with the loudest voices and the biggest megaphones that will get the opportunity to say things and to tell us what we have to do and need to do and fearmonger because it benefits them politically. I said it, and that's what I believe. And I think we have a lot of examples of that. And so I would ask this Palm Beach County judge who is upholding this coronavirus ordinance requiring masks, I would ask, well, what's the number? What is there any limit to what a county can demand that you do, whether it's a mask or anything else? 239-479-5592. Streaming live on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Anytime you want to watch, we appreciate it. And please subscribe while you're there. It gives us the opportunity to keep this going, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook, and we appreciate it. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along, let's find out what's going on with traffic right now. Up to the minute, here's Sabrina Katz.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Cancel the cancel culture mob. Be part of the movement to push back. Rename Lee County Trump County. Sign your name now at 925foxnews.com.
Dane Eagles running on the slogan, Experience Matters. If you are looking for someone with experience giving illegal immigrants handouts, taking away your Second Amendment rights, and sucking up to rhino Republicans for a leadership spot, yeah, vote for Dane Eagle. The career politician has tons of experience selling you out, saying one thing and doing another. He's your man. Paid for by Honesty America. Not approved by any candidate or any candidates committee.
Slider man, slider man. We make your patio door slide like new, slide like new. Slider man. This is our mission to put your sliding glass door back in top condition. Slider man. We make your patio door slide like new, slide like new. Slider Man.
Call Slider Man toll free, 866-594-1969.
Hey, it's Drew Steele here, in hurricane season. You know, it's upon us, and it's supposed to be a pretty active season for 2020. Get peace of mind from my friends at Generator Supercenter, the #1 Generac automatic standby generator dealer in the nation. You don't have to sweat the next outage. I've had my Generac for years. It is amazing. Get your free estimate on your Generac automatic standby generator today, in time for hurricane season, with expert installation and 24-hour monitoring. Generator Supercenter. Give them a shout at 204-3469. That's 204-3469 for Generator Supercenter.
Summer seems even brighter when you've been inside a while.
It's time to drive again with Honda, KBB.com's 2020 best value brand. You could get a great deal on the 2020 CRV or 2020 HRV with financing as low as 0.9% APR on select models. Visit the Honda Summer Clearance event today.
See your Southwest Florida Honda dealers or log on southwestfloridaHondadealers.com.
For well-qualified buyers, see dealer for financing details based on 2020 brand image source from Kelly Blue Book. Visit KBB.com for more information.
Your local 1-hour air conditioning and heating team is open and ready to serve you. AC isn't a luxury, but rather is essential to your life. Give our team a call at 844-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
You know the problem in Washington? Too many politicians are full of should. They should keep promises, should serve the people, should avoid corruption. But when it's time to deliver, it's just a load of should. Then along comes Donald J. Trump, and the DC insiders, they lose their should. Byron Donalds is a lot like Trump that way. Donalds is willing to shake things up. You could take Trump's word for it.
I want to thank Representative Donalds. He's got a tremendous future ahead of him.
Now Byron Donalds is running for Congress. Donalds fought for low taxes in Tallahassee. He'll keep fighting to protect your paycheck in Congress. Donalds backs term limits. And Donalds stands with Trump to defend our police. Conservative Republican Byron Donalds for Congress. He'll make a difference in Washington. No should. Paid for by Club for Growth Action. Clubforgrowthaction.org and not authorized by a candidate or candidates committee. Club for Growth Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Jason Mon at Mon, Himshoot, and Adams Law Group is your Lee County home rule attorney. Their attorneys are here to fight for both you and your family's rights against outside interference. They'll work hard to make sure your business personal home rule isn't threatened by unjust government regulation or dishonest business transactions. So remember, to protect your home rule, please call Jason Mon, your experienced home rule lawyer, 472-2424. That's 472-2424.
Does market turbulence and economic turmoil have you worried about your retirement nest egg? I'm Alfie Townsend. Learn how to navigate these uncertain times. Tune in to Saving the Investor radio show every Saturday at 9 a.m. or visit us at savingtheinvestor.com.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and yes, Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting. I love these guys. I love the company. I can tell you personally, I've used them multiple times over 7 or 8 years. A company that's been in Southwest Florida since 2001. The great staff, the way they communicate, every idea that my wife had that she wanted to do with regard to painting and contracting, boom, just like that, they were on it. So what can they handle? How about anything to do with restoration or repair? Coatings, like the coating in my garage is amazing. They do over 700 clients annually. You don't have to take my word for it. They're one of the highest reviewed contractors for what they do, maintaining 4.9 to 5 stars, and I can see why. So you're thinking about a repaint, you're thinking about your garage floor, you're thinking about some remodeling. I'm telling you, Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting. So give them a call today, 239-872-2559. That's 239-872-2559. See the experience that I have had with Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting, and you will say it as well. They are the best.
My name is Mike Gillimbardo, and I'm running to represent you in the Florida House. It was a great honor back in 2016 when Donald Trump's team asked me to speak at his campaign rally right here in Southwest Florida. And it was an even bigger honor to meet the man that would become our next president. My message that day was about unifying our country behind Donald Trump. Today, my message is the same. Donald Trump is under constant attack and needs our support more than ever. I'm Mike Gillimbardo, and I supported Donald Trump when he was a candidate, and I support him as our president. But unfortunately, my opponent's special interest friends are spending tens of thousands of dollars trying to tell you I don't support our president, and that's just not true. While I'm working to unite our party, he's working to divide it. I'm Mike Gillimbardo. I'm a combat veteran who worked to help Donald Trump get elected. If you send me to the Florida House, I will ensure Donald Trump succeeds in keeping America great. Paid by Mike Gillimbardo, Republican for the Florida House.
This Wink News Update is presented by Stadium Dry Cleaners. Online at stadiumdrycleaners.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Kirsten Delgado with Wink News. Today, Lee County schools are presenting a new district-wide mental health plan to the school board to help kids adjust to going back to school during a pandemic. Collier County schools are expected to discuss this year's school calendar at their board meeting tonight. Right now, students will go back to class August 19th, pushed back from the 12th. Teachers will hold another parade today to demand the district push back in classroom learning, saying they're worried about their safety. Today, Charlotte County commissioners will discuss a mask resolution at county businesses asking customers to wear masks when not social distancing. Cape Coral is canceling its 50th anniversary celebration and fireworks display on Labor Day, citing safety concerns. Trust Wink News, Southwest Florida's news leader.
Wink News traffic.
The crash in Lehigh Acres at Lee Boulevard and Williams Avenue is still slowing traffic eastbound on Lee Boulevard starting from Homestead Road. So if you're heading to Leland Heights, Homestead is your faster option. Also, commuters in Estero, traffic is slowing on Estero Parkway east of Three Oaks to Ben Hill. Southbound delays as well on Ben Hill heading towards Alico Road, and lots of cars on Alico heading west towards I-75. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
93 degrees with our heat index over 100 for your Tuesday. Combination of clouds and sunshine. Eventually, by this afternoon and this evening, we do develop a round of some hit or miss scattered storms. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
When your liberal relatives from up north come for a month, turn up 92.5 Fox News in the house, in the car, and on the radio at the beach. 92.5 Fox News. Run all along.
I want to talk about Stadium Dry Cleaners. My good friends, they are great people there. I've been going to Stadium Dry Cleaners, I'm telling you, for as long as I can remember. And you may know Larry Rose. Now, Larry is an experienced SEC and NFL referee. Well, I know Larry has a fantastic dry cleaner and a great businessman. Look, you're going to love Stadium Dry Cleaners. They have discounts for our first responders and seniors. They have multiple locations near Publix at Daniels Crossing in Fort Myers, the Gateway Trade Center in Fort Myers, and the Elegant Image Dry Cleaners next to Walgreens on Del Prado in Cape Coral. They are Lee County's leading dry cleaner since 1988. With 30 years of experience in Lee County, I'm telling you, I trust my family's dry cleaning to Larry and the team at Stadium Dry Cleaners. So will you visit them? Visit stadiumdrycleaners.com and look for their monthly specials for great savings.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau. You can count on us for great service. You can count on us to get it done. You can count on us for a price that's fair. And quality is second to none. For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Cataract surgery is not so basic anymore because technology has paved the way so that patients can design their vision to meet their individual lifestyle needs. Dr. Jonathan Franz and his team of caring professionals at Franz Eye Care are bringing you state-of-the-art technology through the light adjustable lens. So what's the wow factor, you ask? Your prescription adjustments can be customized after cataract surgery through a series of non-invasive light treatments. The light adjustable lens is made of a special photosensitive material that changes the power of an implanted lens in response to UV light. Imagine that, a lens designed for the unique individual nature of your eyes. It's lights on after cataract surgery with the light adjustable lens. Call Franz Eye Care today to find out if you qualify and see your future in 2020. Dial ** 2020 from your cell phone or call 239-418-0999. That's 239-418-0999.
Dial ** 2020. Franz Eye Care.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Stay break 92.5 Fox News 239-479-5592. There's the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line. Streaming live on YouTube. We appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe. It helps to keep us going and to get you all the information that you love and certainly maybe things you don't love, like this face that you get to see when you're watching. But you get to hear it as well. So maybe you can do as some people I'm hearing what they're doing, which is listening to the YouTube stream, not necessarily looking. I'm not taking that personally. That's quite all right. All right, 239-479-5592. I am so happy to have Dr. Stephen Hahn with us right now. Of course, the FDA commissioner joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. It's Drew Steele. How are you this morning, sir?
Hey, Drew, good morning. My best people of South Florida. I hope you and your listeners are well.
We are. We are doing very well. Lots of questions this morning. So much is happening. And I'd love to start with the visit to South Florida with the vice president. Can you talk a little bit about that visit and what was discussed?
Yes, for sure. We had a couple facets to the visit. First, a roundtable with the investigators at University of Miami who are among the first to have this study available for people. It was a discussion, number one, about the efforts they're making to treat coronavirus patients. They're having great success there in employing therapeutics, but also really discussing the vaccine trial. As you know, this is the first phase 3 trial to open up in the United States. It's a really large trial. It's going to provide us with the data that FDA needs to review in order to determine safety and effectiveness. So this was sort of set up and arranged and put in place as a phase 3 trial really in record time. My congratulations to the folks who did this because it required a lot of effort in terms of compressing the timetable. So the enrollment has started yesterday around the country, 89 sites, 30,000 participants, and that data will be available in the next several months for FDA to review.
Well, a couple of things before we get into the vaccine specifically, and I'd love to know about even the process and getting into more details on that in just a second. I do want to ask this. I know as you were there visiting and the talk was not just about vaccines, but like you mentioned, therapeutics. How are we doing with therapeutics? What are the therapeutics specifically? Can you say that they're using, that we're having success with? And that's a big part of this as well. The comfort level is not only for people to get back to work, back to school, to feel confident. It's not only going to be necessarily about vaccines, because I know a lot of people would like to see that sooner rather than later, but certainly that therapeutics are working and that we have them available. Can you speak to that specifically? What has been working and what has been working here?
Drew, that's a really good point because if you think about it, we're in a fundamentally different place than we were in March and April when this virus hit our shores and we started to see cases. Well, first of all, you know, the great doctors in Florida have learned, as have doctors around the country, about improved ways to treat patients with COVID-19. And that has to do with things like ventilator use later rather than earlier. It has to do with the supportive care that's provided in the hospital, in the intensive care units. And the other big thing that was mentioned yesterday at the University of Miami is setting up separate parts of the hospital for COVID-19 patients so that you reduce the risk of transmission to other patients. Now, with respect to treatments or what we call therapeutics, a drug called remdesivir was put in a clinical trial at the very early stages of the pandemic. And that trial showed that there was a benefit in terms of reducing hospital stay and the most severely ill, which is really great because we want to have treatments that keep people out of the hospital or get them out as quickly as possible. So remdesivir is available. U.S. government has been working with a company to distribute this. We heard yesterday that they're using it early in the course of disease, which is very appropriate. And that was authorized by FDA on May 1st. The second treatment is called dexamethasone, which is a very simple steroid. People use it for all sorts of illnesses, doctors do. And that steroid showed a 30% reduction in mortality in sick COVID patients. So if you think about it, that is that's a pretty substantial a benefit from a very simple and inexpensive drug. So those are the two therapeutics we have now. We are in the middle of looking at data regarding convalescent plasma, where you take plasma from people who recovered and give those antibodies to someone who is ill with it. And over 47,000 people in the U.S. have been treated with that. We also heard from the docs that they are very liberally using that also. And that just spins us into what I think is really a great bridge to vaccine development, and that is the synthetic development of antibodies. So you can actually do that genetically, create antibodies against the virus. Those clinical trials are going strong, many of them in Florida, and we'll see what those trials show. But if the convalescent plasma works, we have every reason to believe that that'll work as well. And finally, Drew, and I keep going on, those can be given as a treatment, but also prophylactically for someone who has been exposed to COVID-19 or at high risk, which is great because that sort of acts like a vaccine, but in a different way.
Well, Dr. Hahn, you know, or maybe you don't, where I might be going with this, because, you know, you talk about prophylactically, you talk about therapeutics. There's one that hasn't been mentioned on that list, and it's hydroxychloroquine. And there has been this back and forth. I'm wondering what the FDA believes about hydroxychloroquine, whether it's a therapeutic or being used early on. I mean, we have evidence that people have used it. It's something that many people have asked about. If doctors believe that it's something that can be used as a therapeutic and they've had good results with it, what does the FDA believe? What do you believe?
So the FDA, looks at all what we call the totality of data. There are observational studies that suggest a benefit. There are 5 randomized trials that did not show a benefit to hydroxychloroquine, both in the prophylactic setting and in the treatment, both early and late. That being said, our stance has been consistent here. FDA does not regulate the practice of medicine. We believe the decision about whether a doctor writes for hydroxychloroquine for a patient with COVID is completely in the realm of the doctor-patient relationship, with the doctor understanding what the data show, their comfort level with this drug, and also the other medications and other illnesses that a person has.
Yeah, and
this is totally in the doctor-patient. And I'm a doc, so
right. No, I know, and that's why I appreciate you so much, because you if anybody would know, you as a doctor, you would know, and certainly I think it stands to reason that every reasonable treatment and therapeutic that is out there, you certainly wouldn't, and I'm just throwing this out hypothetically, so just go with me on this. You would hate to believe that somebody would not prescribe something because of politics. That would be ridiculous, dumb, unreasonable, especially if there was evidence to show that it could help their patient. I can't imagine there would be a doctor anywhere in the country that would not want to find and use and especially if it's something that is easily and readily available, for them to save or help a patient, that they would not want to use it. And you as a doctor, of course, would know that probably better than anybody, that, listen, if you believe in your practice, knowing your patient as well as you do, the doctor-patient relationship, which is one that is unlike any other and many other relationships out there, that you would know whether or not something would be good or helpful, and you would want to do what you could in that doctor-patient relationship to help that person. That stands to reason, right?
Drew, that stands to reason, and that's exactly the situation we have here. We at FDA, as I said, don't regulate the practice of medicine. That's not our role.
Right.
And doctors should make that decision in the context. You're absolutely right. I take that doctor-patient relationship so seriously, and it's a solemn duty of a doctor to make the decision based upon the facts,
right? Not
politics.
Right. All right. I do want to get into the vaccines. Dr. Stephen Hahn with us, FDA Commissioner, joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Operation Warp Speed. This possibility of a vaccine. This is fascinating to me, and many people have texted while we've been on the air, the process. How do you find people to volunteer and participate? Who are the individuals? The process is fascinating, and how we get through these stages. Can you kind of walk us quickly through how all of this works?
Yeah, yes, you bet. So a lot of it is through local awareness. So the University of Miami and other sites in Florida are letting their local constituents know. So really important example here is that the NIH put up a website for folks who want to volunteer, for the vaccine trial. And we heard yesterday at the University of Miami that upwards of 190,000 people around the country have registered to volunteer in these trials. And the folks at the University of Miami did the same with respect to local folks, and they also do not feel like they're going to have any difficulty enrolling their full number of patients to the trial. So there's public awareness around it, and I'm really glad to hear about this strong response for the volunteer, because it's a really important trial to get completed as quickly as possible. These trials require, I mean, it's not a minor thing. They require, of course, the injection, but also to be followed, because we want to make sure over the long term and short term that it's safe and effective. So folks can go to the clinicaltrials.gov website. There is a great spot, really easy click there to learn about the vaccine, what the trials are about, and how to volunteer.
And yeah, because do you have just one more minute? Just one more quick comment? Okay. Yeah, because I know you're busy and I don't want to keep you too long, and I appreciate you joining us in your time. Because and I'm sure you've probably heard from people that that there is a hesitancy. There are people that, hear vaccine, they see how quickly this has come to market. They're concerned about not only the efficacy, but they're concerned about the safety. They wonder why it is that we're told it takes years and years, and all of a sudden, just like that, we have a vaccine for this. People have doubts. What do you say to those individuals?
Well, Drew, I'd love at some point to come back and talk about this even more, but It's a really good question. This is what I'd say, a couple things. One is, think about what it normally takes to develop a vaccine. Normally, it's a very deliberate process over a period of time, because there's not the urgency we have right now. You do a phase 1 trial, which is safety. You stop, you look at the data, you apply to the FDA, you get approval to go to phase 2. Then you do the phase 2, which is an effectiveness trial. And then you get the data looked at, you put it together, you send it to FDA, FDA looks at it, and then they approve phase 3. If the phase 3 trial is done and it looks effective and safe, FDA does the assessment of it. And then at that point, the manufacturer gets what's called a license or an authorization or approval. And then they start the process of working to manufacture the vaccine. Now, think about this. If you put those phase 1 and phase 2 together, if you're doing what's called a rolling review, where you're constantly sending information and updating the FDA, then when the phase 1, phase 2 is done, you don't have to wait. You can have all the data available to the FDA. We can expedite the review of that and then move quickly to the phase 3. And the other thing that's being done is manufacturing at risk. That is, the manufacturers are making the vaccine now, knowing, of course, that the vaccine might not be authorized by FDA, because it's all dependent on the data. But that vaccine would be available for distribution the minute we were able to make an adjudication about it. So that really does compress the normal timetable.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I'd love to have you back.
We will not cut corners, Drew. That's for sure. We will not cut corners on our assessment of this.
Well, I appreciate that. I understand. Well, listen, I would love to have you on again soon. I love our conversations, the hard work that you're doing, and someone with the perspective that you have as a doctor and what it is you're able to do. It's certainly valuable to my listeners, and they enjoy having you on. Dr. Stephen Hahn joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, FDA Commissioner. We'll do this again soon. Thank you for your time. All the best.
Thanks, Drew.
All right,
the best, everybody. Take care.
All right. 239-479-5592 is the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line. And let's do it now. Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Right now, call in number 5 at 239-479-5592. Call in number 5. We'll play Drew's College next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along with traffic. Here's Sabrina Katz.
The crash in Lehigh Acres at Lee Boulevard and Williams Avenue is still slowing traffic eastbound on Lee Boulevard starting from Homestead Road. So if you're heading to Leland Heights, Homestead is your faster option. Also, commuters in Estero, traffic is slowing on Estero Parkway east of 3 Oaks to Ben Hill. Southbound delays as well on Ben Hill heading towards Alico Road. And lots of cars on Alico heading west towards I-75. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
92 degrees with our heat index between 100 to 105 for your Monday, as we are going to be developing a round of some hit or miss scattered storms, especially this afternoon and this evening. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Take right all along to another level. Rename Lee County Trump County. Let your voice be heard at 925foxnews.com.
Let's talk about Byron Donalds. Just the facts. Fact. Byron Donalds is a never-Trumper who has repeatedly mocked Donald Trump and his policies. Fact. Byron Donalds doesn't even live in the district he's running for, but it gets worse. Fact. A Trump-hating organization based in Washington is spending millions to buy the seat for him. These are the facts. Byron Donalds is a bought and paid-for never-Trumper. Paid for by Honesty America, not authorized by any candidate or any candidate's committee.
Hey, have you ever seen the same numbers over and over? Well, sure. 5, 9, 15. What does it mean? It means hurry to Power Penny Days at JCPenney.
Come in and shop at Power Penny Days this Friday to Sunday. Grab JCPenney Home Performance Bath Towels for just $5 and select guys Star Wars graphic tees for only $9. Plus, get select women's sweaters for just $15. Come in for deals so good, there's no coupon needed. JCPenney. Offers valid 10/25 to 10/27. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Jason Mon at Mon, Himshute, and Adams Law Group is your Lee County home rule attorney. Their attorneys are here to fight for both you and your family's rights against outside interference. They'll work hard to make sure your business personal home rule isn't threatened by unjust government regulation or dishonest business transactions. So remember, to protect your home rule, please call Jason Mon, your experienced home rule lawyer, 472-2424. That's 472-2424.
Building a dream takes hard work, discipline, determination. Casey Asghar started with nothing, but his hard work created jobs. His discipline shaped a community. His determination built an American dream. Those same qualities built our nation. And to rebuild our economy, we need them now more than ever.
I'm Casey Asghar, and I approve this message. My family came to America to pursue the American dream. We owe it to our children to keep the dream alive.
Paid for by Casey Asghar for Congress.
That's what sleeping with a CPAP sounds like. If you can't use CPAP, imagine pressing a button and it sounding like this. That's sleeping with Inspire. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with one click of a remote. That's right, just a button. If you have sleep apnea, great sleep awaits at inspiresleep.com. That's inspiresleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to John. John's in Fort Myers. Good morning, John. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I am fine. Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you're in a PhD or associate's degree question, sir. Starts right now. Hey, John, can you tell me who the Vice President of the United States is right now?
Mike Pence.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got an associate's. We'll see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. The 3 branches of government, what are they? I can give you one.
Okay.
The legislative.
I know.
It's okay. It's all right. I understand. Listen, when you're on the spot and you're on the phone and you're on the air, there's a lot of pressure. Legislative, executive, right, and judicial. There you go. There's your 3 branches.
Right.
All right. Well, let's see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. If both the president and the vice president can no longer serve, who does become president?
Speaker of the House.
That is... And I like the way you say that with a downtrodden look.
Oh,
and I can only, you can only imagine. All right, and let's see if you get a master's degree on this question. The Cold War. Do you remember when we had the Cold War? Everybody was talking about the Cold War. What political ideology were we concerned about during the Cold War? The United States was concerned about what?
Communism.
That is correct, sir. Well, there you go. See, you got a big time comeback from all of that. So you got yourself a master's degree today on Drew's College. Very good work there, John. Congratulations to you. So you got yourself a master's degree, and you get to talk to Jake. Jake is going to have a conversation about how you get it and put you on hold there, and you can talk about other things as well. Jake loves talking to listeners, sometimes a little too much, but that's okay. Have a nice conversation with Jake. Okay, John?
You bet. Thank you.
All right, stay right there. All right, we appreciate John playing Drew's College today on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. All right, when we come back, a lot of things to talk about. First, want to mention thank you to everybody who continues to text the word Trump to 239-479-5592, understanding that that'll take you to a link to our change.org page to sign up for changing Lee County to Trump County. Look, we're going to cancel the cancel culture. Thank you very much. You're going to come here and cancel out the name Lee County. Well, guess what? We'll get ahead of that. We'll talk about that more coming up. So make sure you text the word Trump right now.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. My friends at Zero Res Carpet and Tile Cleaning want to let you know, look, your safety and your family's safety is their top priority. In the light of the current health and safety concerns, Zero Res wants to let you know about some of the procedures and preventative measures for added protection. Practicing safe social distancing while in your home. You can even leave or stay in another room and they can communicate with you by phone. How cool is that? Cleaning and disinfecting all equipment with EPA-registered disinfectants between each job. The techs are wearing gloves and booties. They're supplementing the supply of products that are EPA-approved to clean and disinfect hard surfaces, and as an added preventive measure, no additional fee, they're going to treat doorknobs with the EPA-approved hospital-grade disinfecting products. Look, the top priority is to create peace of mind by providing people with healthy, safe, clean home and work environments, and they're going to continue to do just that through this difficult time. Give them a call at 239-932-9376. That's 239-932-9376 or online at ZeroResSWFL.com. Spell it backwards or forwards, it still spells the same. ZeroRez.
Hi, I'm Jim Levins, and I'm running for Lee County Sheriff. For more than 30 years, I've served on the front lines of law enforcement, all right here in Lee County. Now, as radicalized Democrats attempt to open our borders, destroy our churches, and defund the police, it is more important than ever to have a pro-cop, pro-Trump, pro-law and order sheriff who won't give in to the liberal mob and who will fight for you each and every day. That's exactly who I am, and that's exactly what I'll do. I'm Jim Levins, running for Lee County Sheriff, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Jim Levins, Republican for Lee County Sheriff.
Tyler McDaniel here, and Brad McDaniel. We're the second generation of Ken Marcare. For our whole lives, our father Ken McDaniel raised us and instilled in us the work ethic and morals which we operate under and live by today. Ken Marcare has teamed up with Maytag to bring high-quality products to you covered by Maytag's exclusive 12-year parts and 12-year dependability promise on select purchases.
Be treated like family. Call Ken Marcare.
239-437-7040. That's 437-7040.
And online at kenmarcare.com.
License number CAC 057163.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by CFS Roofing. Online at cfsroofing.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Kirsten Delgado with Wink News. Today, Lee County schools are presenting a new district-wide mental health plan to the school board to help kids adjust to going back to school during a pandemic. Collier County schools are expected to discuss this year's school calendar at their board meeting tonight. Right now, students will go back to class August 19th, pushed back from the 12th. Teachers will hold another parade today to demand the district push back in classroom learning, saying they're worried about their safety. Today, Charlotte County commissioners will discuss a mask resolution at county businesses asking customers to wear masks when not social distancing. Cape Coral is canceling its 50th anniversary celebration and fireworks display on Labor Day, citing safety concerns. Trust Wink News, Southwest Florida's news leader.
Wink News traffic.
The crash in Lehigh Acres at Lee Boulevard and Williams Avenue is still slowing traffic eastbound on Lee Boulevard starting from Homestead Road. So if you're heading to Leland Heights, Homestead is your faster option. Also, commuters in Estero, traffic is slowing on Estero Parkway east of Three Oaks to Ben Hill. Southbound delays as well on Ben Hill heading towards Alico Road, and lots of cars on Alico heading west towards I-75. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
93 degrees with our heat index over 100 for your Tuesday. Combination of clouds and sunshine. Eventually, by this afternoon and this evening, we do develop a round of some hit or miss scattered storms. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Home is truly where the heart is. CFS Roofing Services understands that. When I saw what CFS did for my neighbor's roof, I called them. Everyone was professional, and owner David Crowther has nearly 4 decades of experience. It's obvious they care.
CFS Roofing Services, where your home matters most. Visit cfsroofing.com or call 239-561-2600. I'm David Crowther, and I approve this message.
Lee County Commissioner Ray Sandelli has the business experience and conservative principles we need on our county commission. And Governor Ron DeSantis agrees. When Governor DeSantis appointed Ray Sandelli to the county commission, he said Ray's great business and military background will be of benefit to the community. And he has not let us down. Ray Sandelli is committed to continue working with Governor DeSantis to fight for clean water, to rebuild our economy, and to bring new jobs to Lee County. A Navy veteran, Ray Sandelli was an officer, aviator, and member of the prestigious Blue Angel flight demonstration team. And as a businessman, his career spanned for more than 40 years from coast to coast. Ray Sandelli knows what it takes to create jobs and grow an economy. He stands for lower taxes that puts more money in your pocket and less regulations to get government out of the way of job creators. Voting by mail has begun. Send in your ballot today with a vote for Ray Sandelli for Lee County Commission District 3.
Paid by Ray Sandelli, Republican, for Lee County Commission District 3.
Your local 1-hour air conditioning and heating team is open and ready to serve you. AC isn't a luxury, but rather is essential to your life. Give our team a call at 844-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
If you needed heart surgery, who would you call? A doctor who's done it every day or a doctor who's done it once a year? The same is true about your erectile dysfunction. At the Fort Myers Men's Clinic, our Florida physicians focus on one thing: solving your ED. High blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, prostate cancer, these all contribute to your ED. And our physicians at the Fort Myers Men's Clinic know how to solve your problems. We have over 50 different custom formulations tailored just for you. You get to try the medication containing FDA-approved ingredients right in our office. Your total cost for the consultation, test dose, testosterone, and PSA test is only $99. If the test dose doesn't work, you pay us nothing. So you have absolutely nothing to lose, but everything to gain. Call now, 239-317-7777. That's 239-317-7777, and move from skeptic to believer. 317-7777, 317-7777, or online at fortmyersmensclinic.com.
Today, businesses are starting to bounce back, but what if you could do better than that? What if you could adapt and find new ways to succeed? With new customers? Well, Comcast Business wants to help you do just that. Learn how you can not just bounce back, but bounce forward at ComcastBusiness.com.
Hiring can be difficult, but if you're a company that's currently trying to hire, you face new difficulties. Housing Wire could relate. They needed to hire a reporter to cover the U.S. housing markets, so they turned to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's smart matching technology finds people with the right experience for your job. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And that's how Housing Wire found Alexandra Roja. Alexandra never imagined she could get a reporter job in the midst of COVID-19 until she created a profile on ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter matched Alexandra to Housing Wire's reporter job because she was a great fit for the role. Housing Wire received her application only 4 hours after they posted the job. And a few weeks later, Alexandra started her dream career. ZipRecruiter helped Housing Wire find the right person for their role fast.
See how ZipRecruiter can help you hire. Try it now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line, streaming live on YouTube right now at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. We appreciate you watching this very program and subscribing if you like watching on Facebook or you like watching on YouTube. If you subscribe, it keeps it going. So thank you very much. Once again, Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Also want to thank you very much for those of you who have continued to understand that we have quite a strong cancel culture that is out there. and a group of individuals, a minority of individuals who seem to want to tell the majority what to do, want to just wash clean our history, want to point out the flaws in every individual to their liking, ultimately humorously having to cancel their own out. We can get to that later on. And how sooner or later we have that issue here in Southwest Florida. You know it and I know it. There are people that are knocking at the door on Lee County and talking about Robert E. Lee, a bus that cannot be put back up downtown Fort Myers because of security and whether or not it would stay up, which should be a concern about vandalism. Everybody across the country should be concerned about that, but apparently not for certain individuals. The idea that when you see a painting or something of an individual, that somehow that has to come down because you say and you demand that it is so. And we see this going on even in federal courthouses and buildings, and how enough is enough and that you do have a say. And so that's why I am saying that, look, if the cancel culture is coming to Southwest Florida, I cancel you out. You want to change the name of Lee County? All right, let's change it tomorrow to Trump County. How about that? So if you want to get behind that, I would love for you to sign our change.org petition just by texting the word Trump right now to 239-479-5592. And that'll take you to a link that you can sign the change.org petition. We are well over 2,600 signatures, on our way to 3,000. It's amazing the response that we have been getting in just a short amount of time because you all appreciate what is happening. And so keep them coming. There's more to talk about in the coming days with the process, how this would work if we were going to move this forward. And hey, look, sooner or later, we need an official logo. Maybe I'll reach out to you for that as well. Actually, I will. So that's something to think about coming up. And speaking of canceling, you know, the interesting thing to me about some of the politics that are going on right now, and whether or not you want to cancel certain ideologies. You know, we can get into details of the Marxist organization, BLM, not my words, their words, Marxists there, and who would support a Marxist organization, who would support an organization that's looking to dismantle the Western nuclear family, and how those origins do go to Marxism, that the idea that there is a patriarchy and not a matriarchal version of the family, that you have to go back to Marxist views, Frederick Engels' book from 1884 that talked about the origin of the family, private property, and the state, a historical view on the Marxist view of the development of the Western family, and how this is what they are looking to go to dismantle the nuclear family and the patriarchy, the one that we all know is so important, having a nuclear family together, and what that means for children moving forward and our way of life, as opposed to going to an ideology that says that it's a matriarchal position that we need to be in. That there was a time where it was more important to know who the mother was of a child as opposed to who the father was of a child. And that if we can go back to that framework, that the belief is that if you were to go back to a time period like that, that this is the way that you would be able to inherently make a culture that would be able to be subject to whatever it is that you want them to do, that you would have no private property rights, that you would be a ward of the state. And that is where they are trying to move this. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it, but trust me when I tell you that the breaking down of the nuclear family is something that Marxists would like us to see, and that is something that Black Lives Matter talks about. Why are we not allowed to bring it up? It's not ours, it's not mine, it's theirs. Their words from their official website. We disrupt the Western prescribed nuclear family structure requirement by supporting each other as extended families and villages that collectively care for one another, especially our children, to the degree that mothers, parents, and children are comfortable. Notice there was no mention of fathers. Mothers, parents, children. Didn't say fathers. There's a reason for that. That is what trained Marxists have believed for centuries. And how when we talk about what we are and are not allowed to discuss, what we can't look at specifically, some of the discussions that were out there just in the past 24 hours, Rahm Emanuel, to this point, Rahm Emanuel goes on to The View and starts to talk about, for example, Rahm Emanuel, as you know, the former mayor of the city of Chicago, member of the Democrat Party, White House chief of staff for Barack Obama, goes on to The View and talks about kneeling and how his perspective, everybody, has changed. Now, this goes along the same lines as when you are trying to show everybody what you believe, what you think, what you feel, and how, if it's for the collective, if it's for the common good, if it's for having this brand new perspective on things that you never had before, like you were enlightened. Rahm Emanuel is about to tell you how that he believes that he has been enlightened. His mind has been changed. Looking at athletes kneeling and looking at how others kneel to God. And there's something to be said about how equal they are. You can compare athletes kneeling to worshipers kneeling before God. You think I'm kidding? Listen to this conversation between Whoopi Goldberg and Rahm Emanuel. And you tell me what you think about this. We have that?
We were talking earlier in the show about athletes taking a knee, and someone told me you had a change of heart on this. What did they mean?
Okay, a change of heart, everybody. Listen.
Well, you know, when it first happened 3 years ago and Colin took a knee, I was like, you know, you have to respect America, and I didn't think that was appropriate. And, you know, at the religious services of the high holiday Jewish services, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, we actually, in the middle of services, do take a knee and bow to God in our humbleness and understanding we have work to do to live up to God's image and doing God's work. And as I started to expand my reading in the Islamic faith, the Catholic faith, at key moments, one takes a knee in awe of both respect to God, but also humbly knowing that our work and seeing God's work here on earth is not done. And when you step back and look at it, John Lewis at the steps of the bridge took a knee, and Dr. King. Here is a knee is out of to the flag and what it represents about America, not out of disrespect, but that America has fallen short of its promise. And if then you look at religious and religions of many faiths, bowing is understanding humbly that our work is not done. And if so my view began to change, thinking of it both as a Jew, as a key moment in between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, as right. We think about our work, that we respect the flag, but America has work to do to achieve the ideals that that flag represents.
So we are now comparing Colin Kaepernick and kneeling to worshipers kneeling before God. And how now Rahm Emanuel has somehow come to this conclusion that they're one and the same, that somehow that bowing humbly to God and the things that you have done wrong and how you want to help others and to do right by other people and to treat one another as you would like to be treated. to be a light for a better society, that you would like to be closer to God and Christ-like. And so in that, for example, you would humbly kneel before God and ask for forgiveness and humbly ask God to give you the strength to be able to be a better light, a light of Christ to others. That somehow now Rahm Emanuel is comparing that to athletes kneeling because America has work to do and it's done so many things wrong. Do you see what a problem that is? That number one, Rahm Emanuel is it kind of makes sense that a socialist would believe that you would kneel the same way in front of God you would kneel to the state. Because I guess that's what you do if you're a Marxist, that you would believe that you would kneel to the state, that it would have the same, it would be equal. Do you see how inherently wrong that statement is? And then on top of that, here's the best part, or the worst. Remember something. When it comes to the left in this country, when it comes to Democrats, when it comes to Joe Biden, when it comes to Barack Obama, when it comes to Bill Clinton, have you ever noticed that every time they have an epiphany, every time they realize that they've done something in their past that's been wrong and they change it to something that is right, that they never change in the direction of conservative values, Christian values, godly values. They never go that direction. But the direction that they always take and this epiphany that they always have is in the enlightened direction, is in the direction that goes away from God, is the direction that goes away from what we were led to believe was their, Judeo-Christian values to begin with, only to be more enlightened by the state and the state's values and getting away from. And because it's okay that you've changed. It's okay to change. It's okay for Joe Biden in the past to say that marriage is between a man and a woman. For him to change that. Because he changed to what society says is the right choice. You got to make the right one. If you make the wrong one, there's a problem. But then listen, if you make one that goes to what we believe, then you're good. And you can change all you want. And Republicans, you have a chance to change. I'm just putting that out there. It is something to recognize that we are in right now. And that when we talk about the things that are at stake, when we talk about what's at stake in this election, that there is a party that is being funded by Black Lives Matter, the organization, literally, not figuratively, literally, if you go to donate at Black Lives Matter, it goes to Act Blue, a website that is specifically about funding Democrats, committees, and C4 causes, Democrats specifically. There's one that is, and there is one that is not. And you've got to take a side on this. Because ultimately, I'll say this is crazy, I know. Ultimately, you may find a day where, I don't know, let me be ridiculous, that we might find a day that the Supreme Court would rule for a casino being able to have 50 or more people during a pandemic and vote against a church who would want to do the same thing. I know it sounds crazy. It'll never happen in America. Never happen in America. Until it does. Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Let's find out what's happening with traffic up to the minute. Here's Sabrina Katz.
Traffic is slowing in Fort Myers from a crash at Alico and Ben Hill. Eastbound delays getting off of I-75 onto Alico. Also, a crash reported at Stringfellow and Barrancas, slowing traffic northbound on Stringfellow for about a quarter mile. Delays in Cape Coral continue on Cape Coral Parkway, just near Del Prado eastbound. Nothing major. If you are heading over both bridges, though, a very nice commute into Fort Myers. That trip to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
92 degrees with our heat index between 100 to 105 for your Monday, as we are going to be developing a round of some hit or miss scattered storms, especially this afternoon and this evening. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Don't let the phony cancel culture liberals have all the fun. Join the movement.
I was a Trumpster from day one.
Rename Lee County Trump County. Speak up at 925foxnews.com.
Dane Eagles running on the slogan, Experience Matters. If you are looking for someone with experience giving illegal immigrants handouts, taking away your Second Amendment rights, and sucking up to rhino Republicans for a leadership spot, yeah, vote for Dane Eagle. The career politician has tons of experience selling you out, saying one thing and doing another. He's your man. Paid for by Honesty America, not approved by any candidate or any candidates committee.
It has never happened before and may never happen again. $1 million in credit stimulus at Galliana Kia in Fort Myers. We've teamed up with the most forgiving lenders in America to get everyone approved for the new car they really want. If you've got $500 down and you make at least $2,000 per month, you could be approved for new 2020 Kia Sportage lease, just $199 per month. That's right, a new SUV for $199 per month. Bad credit, first-time buyer, unemployed, overwhelmed, upside down. During the credit stimulus event, all credit situations are welcome. It's first come, first served. So arrive early and be prepared to drive home today. But hurry, because when the $1 million in credit stimulus runs out, this sale is over at Galliana Kia, 1.5 miles south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
36 month lease, 10,000 miles per year, $24.99 to signing plus tax title dealer and acquisition fee. 0 security deposit with lender approval expires month end.
This week at Rockstar Harley, buy any pre-owned Harley and get a $1,500 gift card. Access to the country's largest Harley inventory. Rockstar Harley has access to over 3,000 Harleys and truckloads coming each week. Get a $1,500 gift card with the purchase of any pre-owned Harley at Rockstar Harley. Finance specialists on site to get you approved. 100% of credit applications considered. Get a $1,500 gift card when you purchase any pre-owned Harley at Rockstar Harley now through Sunday.
Gift card cannot be used for the purchase of a new Harley motorcycle. Conservative Ray Rodriguez shares our values and he's fighting to deliver results. Ray Rodriguez stood with President Trump to ban sanctuary cities in Florida and hold government officials accountable who refuse to enforce our immigration laws. He also worked to pass E-Verify to protect American jobs and make it harder for illegals to find work. And he stood with President Trump to defend our Second Amendment rights. Conservative Ray Rodriguez worked with Governor DeSantis to grow our economy, cut taxes, and create jobs right here in Southwest Florida. When Governor DeSantis needed him, Ray Rodriguez delivered billions of dollars for water quality projects that will clean up our local waterways and reduce harmful Lake Okeechobee discharges. Ray Rodriguez understands water is our state's most precious resource and has been steadfast in prioritizing clean water. Ray Rodriguez is the trusted conservative we can count on to deliver results in the Florida Senate. He's 100% pro-life, stood with President Trump to fight illegal immigration, and delivered results in the fight for clean water.
I'm Ray Rodriguez, and I'm asking for your vote.
Paid by Ray Rodriguez, Republican for Florida Senate.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Streaming live on YouTube. Thank you for subscribing. Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. That keeps us going so you can watch on YouTube or Facebook. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for people who continue to text the word Trump to 239-479-5592 and signing our change.org petition. Look, if the cancel culture is coming to Southwest Florida, we'll change the name of Lee County to Trump County. You better believe it. And a lot of people are on board with that, and I like that. Also, a couple of other things that are going on. You know, I thought this was interesting, and maybe I'll get into more detail coming up next hour after the 5 at 8:35, and it's this. People have been saying, well, you know, if the economy is going to continue to be bad, and we're going to have people like Nancy Pelosi who are going to demagogue against anything that Republicans would do, it's bad enough that Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says we are starting at $1 trillion, starting places at $1 trillion, where Democrats are saying, no, we got to have $3 trillion for a stimulus, the HEALS Act. Are we kidding? Like, now we're debating whether 1 trillion or 3 trillion is going to be enough. Are you serious? Instead of talking about how we need to get back to work. and how we need to not incentivize people staying home. But we're kind of nibbling around that. But no, we're going to throw money because it's an election year and because the Democrats are great at demagoguing, along with the media, and going after Republicans who are weak on stuff like this when they could be strong. But you can't tell the difference anymore between Republicans and Democrats. Look, I don't like saying it, but as a conservative, I don't mind saying it because I'm a fiscal conservative. I care about these things. And Republicans don't care anymore about it, it seems. Where's the fight? There is no fight. It's just about who's going to give you more money. And that's wrong. That in all of this, with Nancy Pelosi doing this and demagoguing, one thing is coming to mind. You know, Democrats do want to make sure that the economy does not get up and running again. Straight up to the election. So is there something, is there a nugget that we can take away where we can look and say, all right, I got it, Drew, I get it. I understand. Can you tell us where we can look and see some positive signs for the president and re-election, where we can look at almost 100% certainty that the vote is going to go one way in our direction to help the president get reelected? And I have it. Yes, it does exist. We're going to talk about that coming up. 5 at 8:35 coming up as well.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
My name is Crystal Kenzo, and for the past 2 years, I've proudly served as your elected clerk of the circuit court and comptroller. Through our audits of government spending, I've saved taxpayers millions of dollars. Moving forward, I will lead our office into the next generation of services with first-class, streamlined, and automated access to those services. I ask for your vote on August 18th. Political advertisement paid for and approved by Crystal K. Kenzo, Republican, for Collier Clerk of the Circuit Court and Comptroller.
Businesses are starting to bounce back. But what if you could do better than that? What if you could adapt, deliver, and succeed in new ways with new customers? At Comcast Business, we're committed to helping you not just bounce back, but bounce forward. That's why we're offering powerful and reliable internet and voice, now for only $35 each a month when you buy both and sign up for EcoBill and AutoPay with a 2-year agreement. It'll help you stay ahead with a network you can count on, stay connected with 24/7 support, and thrive with flexible solutions that work wherever you are. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go online today to find out more. Comcast Business. Offer ends 8/21/2020. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 35 megabits internet and 1 voice mobility line. Early termination fee applies. Enrollment in EcoBill and AutoPay required. Equipment, installation taxes, and fees extra. Subject to change.
Building a dream takes hard work, discipline, determination. Casey Askar started with nothing, but his hard work created jobs. His discipline shaped a community. His determination built an American dream. Those same qualities built our nation. And to rebuild our economy, we need them now more than ever.
I'm Casey Askar, and I approve this message. My family came to America to pursue the American dream. We owe it to our children to keep the dream alive.
Paid for by Casey Askar for Congress.
Right now, your home is more than a home. Your home is a safe place for you and your family in a challenging time. It's more important than ever that you protect the home that protects you in a storm. The fact is, flooding can happen to anyone, anywhere. And just 1 inch of water in your home can cause over $25,000 in damage. Keep safe. Protect your home with flood insurance. For more information, contact your insurance agent or visit floodsmart.gov/home.
I'm Dan Severson, Navy Top Gun fighter pilot. Spent 22 years in the Navy protecting the Constitution. Now I'm running for Congress. I am the only proven ultra-conservative in this race. I will support President Trump, and I want to be his wingman to carry on the conservative policies he has enacted that make America great. Elect me on August 18th in the primary and then in November for the general election, and I guarantee you'll get a fighter pilot in Washington, D.C. I'm Dan Severson, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Dan Severson for Congress.
Prisons has handled the pandemic for prisoners, the use of federal forces in U.S. cities, and who made the call to clear Lafayette Square prior to the president's photo op in front of St. John's Episcopal Church.
Fox's John Decker.
2 potential coronavirus vaccines are moving into the next trial phase. Dr. Anthony Fauci with the White House Coronavirus Task Force tells Fox.
15,000 people will get the vaccine, 15,000 will get a placebo, and then you determine the difference in infection with the coronavirus.
President Trump on Twitter promotes several posts critical of Dr. Fauci, claiming masks don't work and that the drug hydroxychloroquine is a coronavirus cure, being withheld until the election. America's listening to Fox News.
This Wink News update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Kirsten Delgado with Wink News. Today, Lee County schools are presenting a new district-wide mental health plan to the school board to help kids adjust to going back to school during a pandemic. Collier County schools are expected to discuss this year's school calendar at their board meeting tonight. Right now, students will go back to class August 19th, pushed back from the 12th. Teachers will hold another parade today to demand the district push back in classroom learning, saying they're worried about their safety. Today, Charlotte County commissioners will discuss a mask resolution at county businesses, asking customers to wear masks when not social distancing. Cape Coral is canceling its 50th anniversary celebration and fireworks display on Labor Day, citing safety concerns. Trust Wink News, Southwest Florida's news leader.
Wink News traffic.
Traffic is slowing in Fort Myers from a crash at Alico and Ben Hill. Eastbound delays getting off of I-75 onto Alico. Also, a crash reported at Stringfellow and Barrancas, slowing traffic northbound on Stringfellow for about a quarter mile. Delays in Cape Coral continue on Cape Coral Parkway, just near Del Prado eastbound. Nothing major. If you are heading over both bridges, though, a very nice commute into Fort Myers. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
93 degrees with our heat index over 100 for your Tuesday. Combination of clouds and sunshine. Eventually, by this afternoon and this evening, we do develop a round of some hit or miss scattered storms. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Thrust all along.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
It's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Do you feel American pride and want to shout, God bless America? As a son of immigrants who came through Ellis Island, I stand when the national anthem plays and get emotional thinking of those who have sacrificed for America's greatness. At Stevie's, we're filled with gratitude for our great customers and the country we live in. The firemen, police, emergency service, construction workers, and those who go about each day providing the foundation for our country. We love our customers and express our gratitude with our food, service, and value. Thankful for your dedication for what you do. And to all our great customers, show your love for this great country by going to any Stevie's. Stand at the bar and say loud and clear for all to hear, God bless America, and I'll buy you a 10-ounce beer. Restrictions apply in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. God bless America.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
We are Moran Wealth Management. Passionate about learning what's important to you and your family. Personable, with 24 professionals dedicated to attentive, customized service and focused on client relationships. Performance-driven. As part of Barron's top 1,200 advisors, Tom Moran, founder, CEO, and senior PIM portfolio manager, is Florida's highest-ranked advisor for 2019. Call 239-920-4440 today or visit MoranWealthManagement.com. Moran Wealth Management. Passionate, personable, performance-driven. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592, the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line, streaming live on YouTube. You can watch anytime you like. Just go to YouTube, type in Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. It keeps it going and even makes it available for you to watch on Facebook. So Thank you very much for that. All right, time for the top 5 audio clips of the day. Here we go. It's a 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5. This is the fastest that we have ever gone from the identification of a new virus, doing the sequence, getting a vaccine, and going into a phase 3 trial for efficacy.
Well, there you go. A little bit of Dr. Anthony Fauci talking about this COVID vaccine, and Moderna is launching phase 3 for their coronavirus vaccine trial. We had Dr. Stephen Hahn from the FDA on just a little while ago as well, talking about this and saying how fast this is happening. Biotech companies manufacturing these things, manufacturing at risk, which allows them to make the vaccine before the FDA approves it. So they get the manufacturing happening, and then the FDA brings it in. And then, of course, one of the major questions that people are asking, and one of the questions I may ask you as well, is do you feel comfortable with taking it? Do you feel comfortable with jumping on a vaccine that comes to market so quickly? The FDA insists that it's something that you should be comfortable with, but it's still something that will be discussed by many people, no doubt.
Number 4. Did coronavirus ruin your vacation plans this year?
Yep, we wanted to relax in Cabo San Lucas, but now we can't go.
Well, turn that frown upside down. Introducing Backyard Vacations.
Backyard Vacations?
We bring the vacation to your backyard.
That sounds great.
Tropical drinks.
Nice.
Sun poisoning.
Wait, what?
A $42 turkey club sandwich.
That doesn't sound right.
You'll be picked up by a taxi driver screaming in a language you don't understand, driving you through a dangerous neighborhood.
Why would we leave the house?
We've even adapted your tap water. Careful, your stomach's not used to it.
Stay away from the faucet, Barbara!
Backyard Vacations. Let yours begin today.
Was that the one that was supposed to be played as the... Okay, there you go. So if you're thinking about summer plans and you're worried about vacations, do what everybody else is doing this summer. Stay at home, and there's a place that will bring all the miserableness of a vacation to your doorstep. I don't really know what that was all about.
Number 3.
Look at this. They're giving tickets for not wearing masks.
It was like a trap. It was a mask trap. As I'm talking, it slides down a little bit, so my nose was naked.
You have to wear it properly. If you're not wearing it properly, it's not like you're wearing it at all.
$110. Use a little more common sense than taking people with masks on their actual face. You know, why don't you go after people who have no mask?
Doesn't look like this is anything to worry about. That's a couple of people that were describing how police in Miami are setting up mask traps, like speed traps, to catch people not wearing masks and then fining them $100. Those were people that got fined. One particular person, after his mask slipped down because he was talking, it went down below his nose, and the mask trap police were there to issue a summons. 162 so far citations in Miami right now to enforce the mandatory mask mandate. I wonder how you all feel about that.
Number 2.
Do you believe if Jim Comey knew that the dossier was fake and garbage and he kept going, re-upping warrants to spy on the Trump campaign, that he should go to jail?
Well, Maria, look, I have a high degree of confidence that our intelligence community, our investigators, comported themselves responsibly. Look, Lindsey Graham is the one that encouraged Senator McCain to turn over the dossier in the first place to the FBI. And so I can't tell you all of the reasons why Comey went forward with his investigation. Maybe this was one piece of a bigger puzzle. But I do know that it's nearly 4 years ago, and I don't understand why our focus isn't on what's happening right now.
There's Valerie Jarrett on with the great Maria Bartiromo on Fox Business, who was saying that, listen, even though there's new evidence now that we have that the FBI knew that the dossier was garbage right out of the gate, they knew it, and yet they went ahead with an investigation. More and more information is coming out about the weaponization of the Obama administration against a political opponent, and Donald Trump in particular. Valerie Jarrett says, look, this was 4 years ago. Why are we talking about 4 years ago? Why aren't we talking about what's happening right now? Because this is the biggest scandal in American history, and people need to know the truth.
Number one.
Look, I think this is a starting place. You can see that we've had a lot of our members involved in the start, and we can't pass a bill in the Senate without Democrats, nor obviously can it pass the House.
There you go. There's Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who is saying, listen, this is a great start. This is a great start, everybody. The HEAL Act is what the Senate is moving forward right now and what they would like to see. And it has to do with a starting point. A starting point, everybody, of $1 trillion.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Now, look, I might be on an island. I might be the only one that cares about fiscal responsibility. I might be the only person on the planet that cares about Republicans who are willing to fight back, to fight against Democrats, to show us the difference between Democrats and Republicans, especially when it comes to fiscal responsibility. But no, instead what we get is, let's throw more money than the Democrats, or at least as much, or if not as much, maybe just a little bit less. So the Senate Republicans want to start with $1 trillion worth of spending, to the Democrats $3 trillion worth of spending. And I'm just going to throw this out there as an aside. Can anybody listening, you right there who's looking at me on YouTube right now, can you tell me who you think wins in a battle like this? Democrats or Republicans? Do you think that Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer will win, or do you think Republicans will win? You know the answer. The answer is Democrats always win. The answer is that Republicans never fight. It's unfortunate. I don't like saying it. I would like to have people that will fight, but they don't. It would be nice to have Republicans fighting back and being, hold on a second. Why are we sending more money for teachers' unions to keep schools shut down when all the evidence would show, the science and the data would say that it's not an unsafe place for kids to be, that they need to get back to school, that we need to get them educated, but that no. The union suing the state of Florida, suing the governor for even suggesting that we send our kids back to school. Oh, and let's do this. Let's give them $70 billion in new funding for school. How about that? How about we give more money to universities so they can teach our kids more about socialism and anarchy and how to go to Portland and destroy a perfectly good city in more than one way, and continue to do it, and then have a media to back them and say, oh, they're just peaceful protesters. You people don't know what you're talking about, until you find out that they're trying to burn down and destroy a federal building. And oh, by the way, do not care if there's somebody inside of the building. Yeah, their words, not mine. Let's give them money as well. $30 billion for universities with no conditions attached. Here's the money. Continue to teach our kids all these socialist ideologies and Marxism, and how Black Lives Matter is a fantastic organization. Don't worry about the fact that when you hit donate on the website, that it goes to Act Blue, which is specifically about giving money to Democrats, like a new arm of money that Democrats can pull from, a new pool that they can pull from for Democrat candidates and committees and C4s for Democrats. It says it on the website. Not to mention the destruction of the nuclear family, but who cares about families anymore? I mean, I can keep going on and on about how much money is being given by Republicans under the guise that we have to do something. Haven't heard anybody talking about tax cuts. Haven't heard anybody talking about maybe doing something when it comes to getting back to work. And maybe the reason why we would say $600 a week in these unemployment benefits that individuals are getting, and lowering that down, is because we are trying to get back to work, and we don't want to incentivize people to stay home, as the AP reported and other even local outlets were talking about, that people are having a hard time hiring individuals because they're getting paid more to stay home. It's just a fact. It's something that we talked about when the first stimulus came out. But no, we had to do something because panic breeds stupidity. That's actually pretty good. Panic breeds stupidity. It does. How many times do we know that we've had a horrible situation pop up, and then people, legislators, politicians, make not very intelligent decisions based on the panic of the moment, and you've got to do something. And if you don't do something, then you're heartless and you hate kids and you hate people and fill in the blank. And you're a racist, homophobe, bigot, every obican is that there is. But I did mention this before, and I wanted to specifically say this as well. For all the fight that Republicans and the party do not have, we do have a president that does fight and is willing to fight. And unfortunately for the president, he can only go as far as the party will back him. But there is this. I bring up Portland and these cities for a reason. There's a new poll that is out right now that shows that 77% of the country is concerned that there's crime rising right now, and that it is rising in major metropolitan cities across the country. 77% of respondents say they're concerned that crime is rising in the nation's cities. 46% said that they're concerned about rising crime in their own communities, almost 50%. They see it. People know it's out there. Then you ask yourself, when you look at places like Chicago and Portland and you see what's happening in Seattle and you're concerned about your own city, there is one party that is absolutely positively on the side of Portland and Chicago and Seattle when it comes to the anarchy and is willing to fund it and help it and propagate it and turn the other way as it is happening. All the lawlessness, the defunding of police departments, which, by the way, isn't really defunding. It's getting rid of police departments. You all know that. Then there's one party, certainly one individual, the president of the United States, who is all about law and order and who stands with law and order in our police. And if 77% of people recognize that there's crime rising in major cities, do not those same 77% of individuals want to see it stop? And if they're looking to Democrats to stop it, they're looking in the wrong place. You have to believe that they know that. And so there are many people who are looking at this poll, looking at the Seattle Police Department and saying, hey, listen, business owners, I just want to let you know that you guys are on your own. I'm sorry to say, but listen, with all the anarchy and everything that's happening right now in the city and the rioting that's going on, mostly peaceful, until they smash windows and burn and destroy buildings. And no, it's still peaceful. That there are Democrats behind it who allow it to take place. They recognize who runs the city. They recognize who runs the state. And that the hope right now is that if you're looking at an economy that is tanking, if you're looking at an economy that is not getting back onto its feet and finding a way to rise back up because Democrats are continuing to keep the economy down by insisting that we all get back in our holes, get back in our house. Don't you see the numbers going up? Which, by the way, in the state of Florida, from what I understand, the past couple of days, we've had numbers decreasing. Shouldn't we be shouting from the rooftops that the numbers are getting better the same way we shout from the rooftops when there's 2 days of an uptick? Well, there have been a couple of days of the numbers going down. Shouldn't every major media outlet, including local media outlets, be shouting from the rooftops right now that the numbers are going down and you can get back out of your house and we can get back to work and feel good about everything that's going on? No, you don't hear that, do you? Because you understand the one-way street that we are on. And we also recognize which party is the one that propagates that and which is the one that wants to stop it. These lies and distortion and the crime on our streets. And if the Democrats will continue to try to keep the economy down because there's an election coming up, then there has to be one place that you would be encouraged, poll that you can look at, and people that you can hear from and see that you would say, okay, here's something that I can hang my hat on, that 100% of individuals will know that there is a president that stands for law and order and a Democrat Party that does not. By example. We pray that that is the case. And that may be the one issue that will give this president the kind of numbers that he needs to pull off this election in a year where the economy is not coming back quickly enough because of the policies and the things that are being done by Democrats. That's a positive, everybody. It's not positive that these cities are allowing this anarchy to happen. It's not good that it's coming to a city near you. Unfortunately, we're going to hear more and more of this. It's not going to go away because the anarchists have launched their attacks against this country, and this is their time. And if they don't get it now, the feeling is it could be decades before they have another opportunity like this to come back. They feel like their time is now. And there's one party and one president that is standing in their way. But we hope, certainly the party believe, of course they do. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Let's find out what's happening with the remainder of our forecast with Week News meteorologist Matt Devitt.
92 degrees with our heat index between 100 to 105 for your Monday, as we are going to be developing a round of some hit or miss scattered storms, especially this afternoon and this evening. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top